I don't care if you back to running up that hill again all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black. I'm the host, the Dude's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the Vista right by TJ. If you up, smash that like button. On my left, oldest ninja in the world, old ninja.
I just want to know, because somebody's watching, what time is it on the Doomsday Clock?
We close.
It's like 2 seconds to midnight, man.
Milliseconds. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, show people out on the threes and fours, Chronos.
The Rona ain't got shit on me.
Oh, dang.
All right. Last but not least, we got your boy, Blue.
Yeah, I got some fucked up facts for you guys. Babies don't have fucking kneecaps.
They missing.
They don't. You can feel for them, and it's weird. They're not there.
All right. We back up in this bitch. We're sorry about last week. We'll explain something shortly. But Kronos, you usually got some statistical analysis for that ass.
That I do. I'm just trying to pull it up right now because, it's a lot trying to get back into this whole thing. I got to remember how to do all this shit again because, I've been gone for a little bit. But it's all right, though. I'm just bullshitting for time actually right now. Listener of the week would be Daria, not the personal person that I know. The family member that I know and love.
Is that the girl from Beavis and Butthead?
No, it's actually spelled really different from my sister. Yeah, I think it's somebody that watches anime. It looks kind of like Sasuke, but I can't really tell because they're wearing normal clothes. I can't tell. It's a very tiny.
Like with does it have a Y in it or something?
No, it's just there's a Y in it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay.
Oh, they said okay. You said a Y. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Y thing threw me off.
Yeah.
A lot. And my daughter is the first in the chat.
Yeah.
So hello, I have missed you.
We all missed you. It's been a while since we saw you.
Hell
yes.
Yeah.
As soon as I get when I get off hobo status, then I'll fly out to California to see the new house. So yeah.
Good shit. Good shit.
Sorry, this is gonna sound creepy, but it's not to be creepy at all. She's over 21, right? Or no?
No, she's 19.
Okay, never mind.
So she'll be 20 this year. Yeah.
Okay, be interested to grab a drink with her. Be like, yo, I remember when you were 2 and you told me that to shut up.
Yeah.
Straight up told me straight. Actually, I think she was 5. She was 5 when she told me that. She's like, look, you should shut up. I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna tell your dad then. I'm not gonna go into the story, but it's funny.
She's yeah, she's like that. She's probably laughing right now. I hope she's laughing.
She's my favorite little kid.
All grown up.
It's not a kid. An adult. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, all grown up.
Old Ninja, you back with us. You usually pour out something frothy, malty, urban, brown, bubbly. What you doing this weekend for Homestead?
Bubbly. I guess bubbly. It's not frothy. It's not a fucking coffee, my guy.
Shit.
That was crazy.
There's a flashlight on my tape when I turned it on.
Yeah.
And it shined into the camera and then in my face.
I thought you were going to the upside down, bro.
I know.
I was like, whoa, what's going on? Music was playing.
No.
It's going up the hill.
Oh, dang. We thought Vecna had you.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Put them headphones on, bro.
That was the question I was gonna ask. I gotta add this to the BI for this week.
All right. Well, we're gonna do in remembers, pouring out some St. Ives this week, and I guess last week we'll add some some twisted tea to it, a little bit on top. We'll start with Phillip Baker Hall, character actor. He didn't start acting until he was 30. But he has done 185 movies and TVs.
A hard-working man.
He has 185 movie and TV credits. I don't want to say 185 movies. He shot to cult fame when he turned in a performance as Sidney, the veteran gambler in Paul Thomas Anderson's debut film Hard 8. He appeared in the Zodiac in 2005 and also Zodiac in 2007. Both films were about the Zodiac killer. He's also appeared in critically commercially successful films such as Rush Hour, Magnolia, Air Force One, Argo, and Boogie Nights. He was most recently on the TV show Messiah. He died peacefully at his home at the age of 90. Next up, we have Billy Kametz.
You know, if I die, I don't want to go out peacefully. I just want to be taking motherfuckers out with me.
I want to go out
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
violently. Violently, I'm just saying.
I'll be swinging.
That's what I wanted to say on my
Baseball bats.
on my tombstone. Actually, don't give me a tombstone. I want to actually like be cremated or just make it into a fucking tree or whatever. But I just in the obituary just said died violently. I don't care how I died, but just said died violently.
All right, R.I.V. All right, violence.
Rest in violence.
Oh my god, that sounds quite terrible.
It could be R.I.M. Rest in metal.
Actually, that sounds way better.
That's not cool.
Yeah, that sounds way better. That sounds like the. I was gonna say, should that be the title of the episode? Well, we'll see.
I typed it down for the title. So.
Okay, there you go. We'll see what happens as we progress.
There's a lot
got to one up it.
Yeah. Let me get to this last one. Billy Kametz, voice actor who's worked on popular anime and games such as Attack on Titan and Fire Emblem Three Houses. He's from Pennsylvania, and then when he came to California, he landed roles in the fantasy shonen anime JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable as Josake. What's Josake's last name? Prodigy.
Shit.
Your mama?
Josuke.
Josuke,
well,
right?
this one,
yeah,
yeah, it's Josuke, but he has a last name. His last name is Higo Shikitaka.
Hige Shikitaka. Yes, that is
cultural right there.
Yeah, and then he's in the 2D crossover fighter Blaze Blue cross tag battle as Naoru. He's appeared in many anime and games, like I said. He's in Naruto Next Generations and Promare. He's in Persona 5 Royal and 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. His most popular, or at least his most recognizable work, is the role of Nicolo from Attack on Titans, as well as Rui, the Kimetsu no Yaiba. Fifth story arc, Mount.
Oh, Ninja, your audio's cutting in and out. I think you're about to summon a demon or something.
And your video's going blue. What the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
You summoned him losing his video. That's what happened.
Yeah, because it's hard to pronounce some of this stuff.
Well, you said I think one of the ones you said actually had a better name was Demon Slayer, but
yeah, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yabe.
Them weebs are gonna have a field day with your ass now.
I think I'm the person that was mad at Blue for mispronouncing Almighty is like he's scratching out your name off the his name off the Death Note and writing down your name on Death Note. So
that's fine. I probably won't go on any cons this year. He won a Crunchyroll Anime Award in 2020 for his work in Nafomi Iwatana in The Rising of the Shield Hero Season 1. He died of stage 4 cancer.
Wait, he was Nafumi? That was the voice. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, obviously you said a whole bunch of voices that he acted as, but I mean, that's a real recent, really popular anime.
Yep.
I mean, so is all the other ones you said too, but yeah.
Demon Slayer and
Demon Slayer, JoJo, Attack on Titan. I mean, this guy is voice acting weeb royalty, really.
So what's funny to me is that even though he has that title, Prodigy still shit on him like a week or two ago, talking about he's a D-lister, even though Prodigy is playing the Demon Slayer game with this guy's voice in it. So I think that's kind of ironic. I think this is ironically funny, and you're probably going to rot in hell.
Oops, nice. I'm sorry, my bad, dude. Don't throw a chair at me if I'm at anime.
They're gonna throw body pillows at you, bro. What are you talking about?
Fuck it.
They better not ban me from those fucking hentai late night.
Those are the best.
Oh, that'd be funny if you were. I'm just gonna throw pictures of who is it? Brie Larson, Captain Marvel pillows. Throw all that at you.
God,
and then one of them are probably Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. There'll be one in there.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Right in the face.
God damn. By the way,
and an autograph from what's her name? The director of Birds of Prey. I'll put that one in there.
Fucking Kathy Yan. God damn it, that fucking I was just gonna say, I only have to wait maybe 5 to 7 more days, and then I have the Interspecies Reviewers Blu-ray in my fucking hand.
Oh shit! All right.
So, goddamn, y'all better watch out. I'm gonna be offline for a minute, straight fapping and laughing. It's gonna be good times.
Hey, that's I
My
don't
God.
know. I was gonna say I came across that. I came across that again on what's that one site that's really good at hentai?
There's a
I'm
lot
talking
of
about-
Like taken down, then it was brought back.
yeah.
Oh,
That's real popular.
Hentai Haven.
Yeah, that one. HH.
Yep. Yep. Dude, yeah. Good fucking shit. All right. The fans missed us. Obviously, we was indisposed last week. Kronos, I know you got a little bit of a story to tell. Why don't we kick it off with some of that? God damn it.
All right, childrens. I got a shitty story to tell about how my life keeps getting shittier. But it's all right. I just, roll with the punches. I'm a Marine. I adapt, overcome, all that bullshit. So last week on like Saturday, I think. Yeah. My youngest daughter, she was sick. And so we gave her a COVID test, I think on Saturday, and she was positive for COVID. And at my brother's place, there's somebody in this household who got COVID a couple times, and 2 times they had to be hospitalized. So I was like, fuck. All right, well, we at first I was like, okay, we can just, have her wear a mask in the house and, if she's outside the rooms or whatever, but it's like, yeah, it's, it's not going to work because they tried it before and the person still got it and they got hospitalized. So I understand the significance of needing to protect, family member because I was trying to protect K for the longest time against COVID. That's why I stopped doing jiu-jitsu. That's why I stopped doing basically fucking everything. So my brother told me, we got to figure out something different. We had to leave, his house. So
So like, you don't got to go home, but you get the fuck up out here. You're like, wait,
yeah,
I
I ain't got a home. Yeah, my home is staged right now with like shit that ain't even mine. So yeah, we had to.
Your hat is your home, like you're Rolling Stone.
Yeah. So we had to find a hotel to stay in for a while, and yeah, it was pretty shitty. I stayed in the. I'm gonna give the most fucked up review ever. I'm actually gonna type up a review of this place because it was that fucking bad. Because I usually don't write bad reviews. Usually, if something you have to go like above and beyond, like for me to like give a bad review on anything, and this is above and beyond bad. All right, so we stayed in the La Quinta Inn in San Diego. It's the one that's attached. It says La Quinta Inn and Suites, SeaWorld, and something else. Don't fucking stay there. All right, it's right off Interstate 8. Don't stay there if you're ever in San Diego. It's one of the worst hotels I've ever stayed in my entire fucking life. First of all, it's supposed to be a suite. And for me, a suite means there's a room and then a separate room from that room where it's like a living area, right? But we walk in and immediately we notice that there's no door on the door to the room. Like there's not even like a door frame to the actual room. But there's a bunk bed. So I was like, okay, my youngest, like she always wanted a bunk bed, so like that's cool. But then I look at the bunk bed and there's like this cool, quote unquote cool, like drawing of like safari animals and like this whole jungle background on the walls is wallpapered in, but like the wallpaper is peeling huge, like all the way up from the fucking ground to the ceiling. It's peeling in the middle, and it's just like, okay, that's gross. First of all, and then I look at like the kids' little area, and they have a kid-sized table, but there's adult-sized chairs for the table. So like literally you can't if you have a kid-sized table and adult-sized chairs, a kid can't sit in it because the chair's too fucking big because it's not child-sized. All right, so like I was like, what the fuck, man? So sorry, got a little mad about that. So anytime Riley, it's my youngest, anytime she tried to eat, or use a table, like she had to like reach way over, and 5-year-olds are like messy eaters, so just shit got everywhere, when she was trying to eat. And then I went to open there's a closet in like the bedroom, and as soon as I opened it, I was like, just like fucking reek of mildew. or mildew or just like straight up mold. It's probably straight up mold. I think it was like more accurate. Straight up mold. So I had to keep that closed at all times. It's just like reeked of mold. And every now and again, I still smell the mold like out of nowhere. I couldn't fucking see it like really anywhere, but it was like in the walls or something. It was just a constant, persistent fucking reek of mold. And then like a day after or a day or two after we were staying there, I noticed that there was like it had to have been bodily fluid stain on the fucking one of the window dressings or whatever. Super fucking gross. It was like this white fucking totally looked like nut.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I was about to say, yeah, there's a lot of bodily fluid. It wasn't vile.
Looked like nut. That was just dried on the fucking shit. So they didn't clean it.
Seedless nut or regular nut?
I couldn't tell. I mean, you could tell me. I mean, it was pretty white. I don't know if your seedless nut changes colors or some shit. Yeah. I don't know if it becomes clear.
Oh my God.
Purple with orange spots for me.
I got you. So basically, you nut like a cartoon character. Is it like confetti that pops out?
Yes.
That when you
there's a sound too.
Oh, I got you. Like
you hear little kids in the background.
The clown horn noise.
Wait. You download like different sounds for it, like the old school phone, different like MIDI files.
So yeah, we were stuck in that hotel for 8 days. We'd have been there even longer if not for my brother. And there was other shit that happened too, but it was just like the refrigerator would periodically just like stop working, like out of nowhere, and like everything that was in the freezer would just like melt to the freezer, and then just like it'd be fucked. So it was fucking awful. And having a 5-year-old stuck quarantining in a hotel room, it's not the business. Like she almost went full Lord of the Flies on us. Like we had like, should we call a doctor? Should we, like she has a therapist. Like should we call a therapist? It was a lot. I mean, she was going nuts. She was driving us nuts. But we did the best we can.
Wake up and she's just standing on the edge of the bed, just looking at you,
sharpening her knives and shit. Like, all right, calm the fuck down.
Barbie doll heads missing.
Yeah. So shitty hotel room aside, I was like really like legit concerned about Kay, because she's immunocompromised. She's had 3 open heart surgeries, and she was planning on, because when Riley tested positive, we both tested negative, but we still had to leave because it's like, and somebody asked me like, well, why did you go with them? I was like, because they're my fucking family. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I can't just leave them. Like who's gonna raise the kid? Like that's just a weird question to ask. But anyway.
Wait. People expected you to abandon your child and like what?
I think the person that asked me this probably just didn't realize. Probably had like a brain fart. I'll tell you who it was after the podcast. Yeah, Prodigy, but it's just like I don't think that they weren't thinking about the whole situation. You know what I mean? Which is okay. So I'll say the best intentions for this person because I love this person.
All right.
Anyway, so both me and Kay were negative when Riley tested positive, and so the thing with Kay is that she still had to work, and so she's like, okay, well, she's trying to figure out where to work, it's like because she couldn't work in the hotel room because there's no fucking door, so there's because that was the plan. I got a suite just so she can work, or one of us could work, during this time, but there's no door, so you can't do that. So I was trying to use like WeWork and all these like other colo locations to like get a fucking at least a desk somewhere where she could like work. That was the whole thing. And then eventually she was like, okay, well, I can just go to my cousin's who lives in Oceanside. So like, okay, that'll work, So just test in the morning and then go to their place and then work from there. It's fine. Like I'll take care of Riley and we'll work it out. And that morning she woke up, she tested, she's fucking positive. So like, fuck. And of course, like, literally, like maybe an hour later, she's on death's fucking door. I was just like, dude, like it was crazy. Like she couldn't get out of the bed. She had crazy body aches, and at a certain point, I was like, hey, do I need to take you to the hospital? Because like, you can't even get up. Like you can get to the bathroom, but like you can't really do much else. And I was worried. I was like, I'm trying to deal with this 5-year-old. It's like started to do like stage 2 Lord of the Flies here. But also, like, I need to make sure that you're okay. And so, she just, she basically slept for an entire fucking day. Just in bed while I was dealing with Riley. And that was a lot.
Did you go Did you make sure to
Yep.
check, like, take a mirror and put it into her nose, make sure she was still breathing?
No, I knew she was okay, but I was like, I was still trying to like take care of, Riley, and it was just like it was a lot.
Yeah.
So second day, she got a little bit better, but she was still like she had to take like real long fucking naps. So yeah, and then we had to like just take Riley on drives, just to like do something, and eventually she tested negative, but then Kay's still positive, then I tested positive. And it's just like it's a lot. So we had to like quarantine or isolate for like 10 days, and I think Kay's 10th day is tomorrow, but she has a slight cough still, and my 10th day will be on Friday. But I'm not showing like a lot of symptoms right now, and I have no fever. Even though I'm about to start sweating here because it's fucking hot. But
I'm sweating and shit.
yeah, well I'm in
African sheen.
Yeah, I'm in like a garage. During the summertime, it's hot, but yeah. So, but if if either of us have symptoms on Friday, then we got to go and just figure that shit out. Again.
Damn.
Yeah,
dude, y'all been through it.
Dude, 2020 hasn't been easy for you guys at all.
No, yeah. So this is me and Kay's like worst year as a couple since we've been together. We've been together since like
11 years,
2010, like
Goddamn,
as like
man.
legit boyfriend and girlfriend, like basically 2021. Sorry, 2011 is when we like became like really boyfriend and girlfriend. But we've been like together since before then. So yeah.
Dude, that's been rough. Obviously, we couldn't cast last week. We understood. We're back up in this bitch for y'all now.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Kronos was going through it. We were talking all in the chat. We were just like, I know we're not gonna be able to cast this on last Wednesday, but we're up in here now. I'm glad you feeling better. I'm glad Riley is. And Open K, full recovery. Get them fluids. And what did you say, old ninja? It was like Pedialyte and vodka. That was the cure.
Oh no, Kronos
you,
wanted to add the vodka to
Russian.
the Pedialyte. I said just do the Pedialyte. He's vodka and Pedialyte. That sounds like a great idea. And he's just like,
I wonder what that would taste like. I'm actually really curious.
It'd be real
I feel
thick.
like it's like a dairy.
yeah, you'd probably be either really sick or really drunk very quickly.
No, I mean you'd be really hydrated and drunk. But what's hilarious is that
Oh, you know what?
go ahead.
Exactly.
No, for Pedialyte, I was thinking of No, I didn't think. For some reason, not that it was a liquid. I was thinking it was like that. It's like a creamy milk substitute that old people do.
Like
What's that one called? Yeah, Ensure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Ensure. I'm like, can you imagine Ensure White Russian? That actually, I wonder. That probably be either good or bad.
I think when I'm old enough, I'll do it.
There you go.
I'm gonna make it this weekend. I'm gonna try and get back to you guys.
You know what's crazy about Pedialyte is that so when I was in the Marine Corps, that was like our thing. That was like our secret, right? We went on like long. We called them humps, but humps are basically just like fucking long ass hikes with like a bunch of gear on. And it's like you're fully loaded down with some shit and walking somewhere really far. And we would drink Pedialyte. And now all of a sudden Pedialyte is like, oh, adults drink this? So there's like adult Pedialyte products now, which is like kind of funny because it's like the Marine Corps has been using Pedialyte since like for a long time. Same thing with this is another secret if you're a hiker. It's fucking pantyhose. Like if you get like blisters on your feet, just buy some pantyhose and cut them off like at the ankles or whatever. Put them on your feet, then put your socks on. You will greatly reduce your blisters on your feet. So
there you go. That's pro tips.
Here's another pro tip: if you are doing a marathon or a Spartan race or some kind of crazy ass marathon that you shouldn't be doing and you're not fucking prepared for, make sure to bring mustard. Mustard is like it'll help you with any kind of cramps you get, and it's damn near the perfect snack when you're fucking trying to run up a goddamn hill.
Unless you hate vinegar or mustard, which is vinegary. It's just I can't do the mustard thing, but it has shit that you need if you have cramps.
Hell yeah, and that shit will fucking ruin your goddamn day. Especially when you get them in both fucking legs.
Yeah.
I just remember Prodigy just cramping up on a fucking hill, and some random lady came out of nowhere. It's like, hey, eat this mustard, and I'm gonna massage your junk for you. I mean, your leg.
She's like, oh, how do you feel better, huh? You feel better now? Jacking them off with the mustard, then it gets in your dick hole, and you're like, oh shit, it's on fire. That's way too graphic. I hope my daughter left the chat.
Now.
He said it. He said it first, and he realized, oh shit.
God damn. She did help me up. I was backed up. I mean, no matter what, I was definitely backed up.
Then she's all, what is that clown horn noise? Why is there confetti everywhere? Like, what the fuck is going on here? That's how you do jokes. You go back in time to what you said before. Just saying.
There you go.
That's David Chappelle's fucking recipe right there.
Mm-hmm. Seedless fucking nuts, baby. But yeah.
Oh, really quick, shout out to Clay, the bartender. It's good to see, because he looks like he just recovered from COVID as well. So shout out to you.
Are we making out with Cronus?
No. God,
what the fuck, man?
It's so bad. So it's good to see you're still with us. Actually, it's good to see that everybody that caught it recently is still above ground. So
I was like, Cayman had got COVID too, which is crazy.
Well, I mean, his wife is a nurse, so I'm like,
yeah,
you'll be used to. Yeah,
I'm really kind of honestly, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't got COVID. I'm like fucking wood right here, because we got a kid, a toddler or infant toddler in daycare, and those guys are just little germ magnets. But then the sweetness, she's not a nurse, but she's a clinical lab scientist. So she works for a company, a corporation, or she works for Stanford, and they have they do a lot of the testing for COVID. So it's like, one little spill and then boom, everybody got COVID. I don't know. It's just, we're lucky so far, but it's right now. It's just wait and see. Everybody keeps saying eventually everybody's gonna get COVID. And it's like,
yep.
It's kind of sucks to think that way, but I try my best to protect the family, and if it happens, it happens.
The shitty thing is, unfortunately, people can get it more than once still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't, let your guard down. This is no shade, because it's just been dumb luck for a lot of people that have, not gotten it, but almost everybody I know has gotten it. And it just fucking sucks. And it's one of those things where you hope you make it through, but them some hard fucking days. You know what I mean?
I thought for sure,
question shit.
A couple of months ago, when I was literally uncontrollably shitting and vomiting that I had COVID, but we were negative. But I was just like, that for me, that was way worse than than COVID, because that hit 3 adults in the house at the same time. And Riley had it the 2 days before, and she was fine, but the rest of us was just oh man, our toilets and bathtub and trash cans got their uses out of them.
All fucking bad, man.
Yeah. What's interesting with Bash is that his daycare, there was a few kids that tested positive, but they tested positive on days that he was, because for him, he was only going to daycare Tuesday through Thursday, but the kids were testing positive on Mondays, so he wasn't there for it. But now he goes Monday through Friday now, so it's it's basically it's like Russian roulette at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
something's gonna happen.
Riley got it from camp, so yeah.
Dude, fucking yeah. There's all kinds of ways to do it. I'm just glad everybody's on the mend now.
The next up is the monkeypox.
Scary.
Exactly. The monkeypox, yeah. I'm not a monkey, so
Well, you heard about how the CDC or WHO or HMO, or I don't know what the fuck they're called now, but they're talking about renaming the monkeypox to something else. Because we got like N1, F1, and then COVID, and then that got renamed to, coronavirus got renamed to COVID-19 or something. I don't know. They're talking about renaming monkeypox, which is just keep it monkeypox. We have chickenpox.
You know what they need to do? They need to stick with the Transformer theme, because Omicron literally was a fucking Autobot. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah.
It's for reals.
Yeah.
But then Omicron was also from Futurama, which I thought was probably one of the best fucking games. Yeah.
All right, guys. Where do you want to fucking start, man? There's been so much. We got 2 weeks of fucking content for that ass. Let's go. Old Ninja, what you want to start with? You pick it.
So what I want to pick is gonna feature just me and Blue for a little bit, real quick. If y'all are okay with that, just
Yeah,
start.
go
I want to start with some good shit. Start out on a happy note, and then we can end it on a downer, or at least
Okay.
get to the bad, all the crazy shit in the middle. But I want to talk to Blue about Young Justice Phantoms. I know you finished it. We didn't get a chance to discuss it. I
Man,
know you got some thoughts. What did you think of what was it, the last couple episodes? Last 2 episodes?
was there an episode last week? Because last episode
No,
I
it's
saw
done.
was like,
No, it's done.
okay.
It's done.
So first of
But
all,
we
I
didn't
gotta
talk about the last 2.
So with Young Justice, when the season dropped, I was like, okay, this shit's going kind of slow. There's too much lovey-dovey shit going on. Like, what the fuck? But then it was like they ran up that hill, and I was like, holy shit! Like things just got fucking crazy. But like,
Wait, they were Kate Bushing?
yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Man.
There's some shit goes down in this season.
Yeah.
Was the power of friendship strong as fuck though? That's what I wanted.
Actually, yes, it was.
So, actually, they went power of friendship, power of love.
But was there a power
It was-
top or a power bottom?
There
Yes.
That's the
was.
question.
Yes, there was.
It was.
Okay, there
There
we
was.
go.
What did his
There's
name
a couple of them.
Was it Aqualad? Was he one of the?
Oh yes,
Okay,
he's one of them.
because he's gay. I mean,
Yeah,
He's
he's
one of
gay
them.
in this series,
gay-
which I was
he's
like,
gay-
holy shit, what the hell?
He's gay AF.
There you go. Pride Month stamp done.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's not just him. There's actually a few other characters that are either bi-curious or gay
they
or
have-
transgender, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, there's also a polyamorous marriage or polyamorous relationship. There's asexuals. There's all kinds of stuff. Like basically all the check
Interspecies
boxes.
shit?
They all hit all the check boxes this season. Like all.
For
But go ahead,
I-
Blue.
But yeah, like so far for this series, my favorite like change and for a character was Zod. Zod was a black man.
Yeah.
And I was like, Zod needs to be a black man. Like, the charisma of this character. I'm not sure who did the voice or whoever did the drawing or animation for it was fucking spot on. Like, Zod was badass.
We're
But, like,
not even going. I'm sorry. Maybe I haven't seen it, so maybe they address it right then and there. But we're not gonna give him his proper title. Not even
Yeah,
general.
sorry. Yeah, is it? Yeah, General
He's-
Zod.
he's
He's
a lieutenant Zod.
He's general.
He's a lieutenant
He's general.
now.
Yeah.
He's a
No, he's
general.
general. He's general. Zod.
But yeah, just that character and like the shit that's going on in Phantom Zone and like why we're in the Phantom Zone is fucking crazy as hell. And then like it's just if you're starting to watch the series this season and it's like really slow, you just gotta stick it out because once the shit happens in the Phantom Zone and the shit that's happened outside of the Phantom Zone is fucking crazy. But then also like the stuff that's happening with like Zatanna and like she's kind of like training different people, and then like what's happening with what's the guy's name? Dr. Fate.
Oh.
No, but so first of all, with Dr. Fate, like the person who is behind the mask for Dr. Fate, like it's kind of a curse and a kind of a blessing, but it's more of a curse to be Dr. Fate. But then the shit that happened with Beast Boy, like I was watching the episode with Beast Boy. I broke down in tears. Like it was so much of a powerful episode. And what's crazy is that the same voice actor who does Beast Boy in like Teen Titans Go and even like the original Teen Titans does the voice of Beast Boy in this series. And this guy's got fucking talent. Like his range and this and that. But yeah, Beast Boy goes through some shit and you don't realize it until like he starts talking about it. But he's like literally sitting down talking with Black Canary.
Black Canary.
And she's sitting there like a therapist. Like, you know how the therapist sits there, you're laying on a couch, she's writing in her notebook. She's literally just like drawing like scribbly lines as she's talking to him and just get him to like open up. And like it's crazy. Like this show it's really about different kind of emotions and like character development. And if you look at season 1 compared to this season, you're like, these are fucking adults still like real life events. Like this isn't like some over dramatized shit that they're going through. Like this is some real life, not other than beating a fucking demon that came from space that came on a fucking planet called the Battle World or something like that. But like they're going to do some emotional stuff, but I don't know. This season was really fucking good for a comeback show, and I really hope we get a season 5 because we don't know where they live off on Young Justice here. What's your take on it?
First of all, just on the tail end of what you said, did you watch the after credits of the final episode?
I'm trying to remember what happened.
Because they literally set up 2 separate storylines for what's supposed to be coming next, and they're like huge, like events, I guess.
Because I remember there's something that happens on because there's a marriage that happens, but then there's also something else.
That's part of the episode.
With Supergirl, that's right. With Supergirl and Homegirl, that's was it? She's a Shazam girl. Yeah, that's
Mary.
Yeah,
her name is Mary.
Oh, yeah. They leave it off on a head cliffhanger.
Yeah, so they literally set up 2 new storylines, and I think even possibly a third, depending on if they want to pursue it. So it definitely left it open for new stuff and like definitely apocalypse centric for the next one. Because when you watch the series, I realized there's no fucking Supergirl. Supergirl hasn't been anywhere near there. And she's like the age of usually most of the Young Justice team members. Instead, they used Wonder Girl. Yeah, one, and there's been more than one. There's been 2 Wonder Girls on the show. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. So basically, without giving too much away, there's new Furies that Darkseid assembles, but most of the Furies are familiar. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with this in the next season. But this current season has been really about trauma, to be honest with you. I mean, everyone on the team, and there's a shit ton of characters. Each, I guess, story arc, because there's like literally an arc. Would we say like every 4 episodes or something? It's like 4 or 5 episodes was a different arc.
Yeah, they keep telling like a different story from a different character's. It's not point of view, but like their story. They go.
Yeah, it's deeper. Their story, but it all connects. Like either one character from one story arc moves on to the next because what happened with their story arc, the result.
Even shit from season 1 gets pulled into this.
yeah, and so everything's like really connected. Even though when you're watching it, it may not feel that way, but we were watching it as it got released. Now you can watch it all at once, and it's 24 episodes. There's a shit ton of fucking episodes.
Yeah, that's long as fuck.
Yeah, it's 24. It's long. It's probably as long as what season 1. I think season 1 has as much. There's a shit ton happening. Each arc has major trauma from either losing a loved one, depression, abuse, childhood abuse. Because there's one character who's part of the Bat family. She has to deal with her trauma from her mom. Her mom slits her throat.
God damn.
Her mom had slit her throat at one point to teach her a lesson, so she can't speak. So she ends up. I mean, a lot of people already know this deals with orphan, but they deal with her trauma through someone else's point of view, who also has family trauma that we've seen literally through season 1. But because of that, they're both able to resolve their like family issues through this story arc. And then there's identification. There's also like kind of trauma with like Blue was kind of saying, just kind of like being distant from like family members, but trying to reconnect with Zatanna. She's very close to her dad, so she ends up kind of losing her dad, kind of sort of, but she has to kind of bottle up being a role model teacher, but also dealing with kind of not being able to see her dad like she normally does. And then like other people not fully realizing their potential, people with their sexuality. All of these points are dealt with in this whole fucking season. I thought it was really good.
Quick shout out to HBO Max for or whoever does the subtitling for Young Justice, because Zatanna, we know that whenever she uses her magic, she just say her incantations are her saying words backwards, and the subtitles actually will be the words backwards. So if you could read fast, you can read what she's saying backwards, or you could just pause it and just read it out and be like, okay, this is the spell she's about to cast.
So for Zatanna's whole story arc, every one of her episodes are written backwards. Each
That's
episode title is
Hmm.
backwards. I was like, oh shit. And you know her story arc ends when shit's fucking reading left to right again. So I was like, oh shit. Her
Who had the
story
better
arc ending.
Who had the better fishnets, Zatanna or Black Canary?
Black Cat. Black Canary.
They're probably Zatanna because you only see Canary like
Black Cat's a little bit
three-
thicker though.
Yeah, but you only see Canary like 3 times. Like you see Zatanna a few
I
times.
thought we were talking about overall because I was just thinking like.
Oh, overall,
So I
it
think
depends
that old
who's
ninja
drawing.
just said that for him, it's quantity over quality.
Mm.
I mean, if the thighs are thick, I get isn't that quantity? But yeah, this is a very. I feel like this is more adults, like
Yeah.
or late, more of a late teens type of show to try to like, connect with the teens that are dealing with today's society. But I think the storyline overall was really good. We
If
got
this
an
season-
interesting General Zod, and it's not just like him. It's like I don't know if
Fun.
y'all. Oh, Cronus, you watched what the fuck? What was that shit? Krypton. General Zod is black. His family line is black in that
Yes,
show.
hold on real quick because y'all didn't
Oh,
hear
that's
it.
right. Yeah.
But real quick, thank you, My High Blurred, for donating to Super Chat. So
Oh shit!
yes,
Hey, thank
it's
you,
a
man.
thing.
Appreciate it.
So if you guys see, if you're in the chat and you see like the money symbol thing at the very bottom, that's how you can donate money to this podcast and it helps us out. So please do so if you can.
There you go.
He is fam forever.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you can
yeah.
either donate to doing a super sticker or a super chat message,
Mhm.
which I don't know what that means.
Well, it's just it should be just Super Chat, right?
No, there's two
Yeah,
of them.
I think
Or is there two now?
Click on it.
I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
no idea.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, I got you. But yeah, he just sent a sticker, but it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. We appreciate it no matter what. But yeah, General Zod being black, it was interesting because I felt like he was like Earth 2 General Zod, or no, I'm sorry, not Earth 2, with the Earth where where there's Black Superman, so they had like a black General Zod, and he was pretty cool. It wasn't just him. They actually had some of the characters from like Man of Steel because they had Fiona Oon in there and shit. They had Nan. They had they all followed General Zod's his lead, and he had a wife. His wife was still alive.
Damn.
So, yeah, it was. He had a whole army.
Dude, I gotta fucking catch up, man. I will say this: my son is watching it, and he's raving about it, just like you guys are. He's like, "Yeah, you gotta watch.
man.
You gotta watch." So I'm gonna make something happen this 4th of July weekend.
Dude, man.
Yeah, you're missing out, man. I mean, it's a shit ton of fucking episodes, man. There's a shit ton. So I was happy that it was a really long season. It feels a little
Wait.
complicated.
Wait, you can't talk to me about a shit ton of episodes, man. I'm a One Piece weeb. Like, you know what I mean?
no,
Like, these things mean different things to me.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
you used to
What
not
gives
be
you
one of those.
shit about One Piece? The fuck?
Whatever. The whole world does.
You used to be like, I just need a season. That's all I need for a show. One Piece got their fucking claws into you.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I'm finna be the Pirate King. What's up?
Oh my goodness, that show will probably never end.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's very serious. I feel like if this season was on Cartoon Network, this show probably would have definitely got canceled.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
guaranteed. Because they skate the lines a couple times. So
Yeah, but just to
Goddamn.
kind of go over this some major fucking topic that's going on with like in the world with like
Yeah.
gay marriages and stuff like that, and then like
well,
there's,
not just gay marriages, like different sexualities, like how like coming out, Muslim, dealing with like how to approach Islam through an animated medium, and they touch upon it like in a respectful way. I saw people comment that okay, they didn't go too in depth. I'm like, well, dude, it's not a show about Islam. It's just giving someone who wants to join Islam like a pamphlet and be like, here, if you join Islam, this is what you can expect, and this is what we kind of expect of you. And it's very respectful. It's very short and brief, but it gives you a nice little like overview. It doesn't go too in depth, which I think is it's perfect. It's fine.
what's also interesting is that like it's also talked about how like they didn't touch on it too much, but like dealing with like a kid who's autistic, because like one of the characters, she has a son who's autistic, and it's kind of weird because she kind of doesn't want to be in the kid's life until some events happen. Then she's like, look, kids are different. Like, I need to be there for my child. And like, once she came back to her home to her kid, she was more, yeah, we need to definitely get a specialist for our child. Like, because she had the impression my kid is normal. There's nothing wrong with him. Everything is fine. But then, like, you know, some shit goes down and she's like, no, yeah, we should definitely get and the husband was like, we need to do this for our kid because apparently they're separated. And yeah, some shit goes down and she's like, yeah, we need to do something for our kid. Like, he needs to have like special help and this and that. Like, it finally opened her eyes.
Was he putting crayons in his pee-pee hole?
No, he wasn't doing that.
Oh,
but like, it was one of the weird things I never saw a kid do before. And my kid did it today. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck? He basically would take his toy cars and have them upside down so the wheels were up.
That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's like you're supposed to roll your cars, but he would put them on. He did other things, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know. This show touched on a lot of topics, which is kind of cool.
So there will be something that's extremely random. It's very random, but like later on in the series, it will make sense and it will become a huge plot point. But at first, for literally 10 episodes, it's super random, extra random. But they explain it. They fully explain it. It's great. But at first when you'll see it 3 times in like one of the story arcs, you'll be like, what the fuck is that about? What the fuck is going on? And then later on they come back to it. They give an explanation on why you see it, what's going on, and then it becomes like a huge like plot device. So it's great. It turns out to be really good.
Good shit, man. Y'all sold me, man. I'm gonna catch up on this shit.
Yes, dude. Some episodes are so good. I almost watched them twice. I was like, God dang, did that just fucking happen?
Dude, that Beast Boy episode, I had to go back and watch it again.
No, I had to pause it. I had to pause
was
it, walk
tears,
away.
man.
I was like, damn, this is all bad.
Good shit.
Even right now, I'm getting kind of misty-eyed. Like, Garth, man, he didn't have to go through that shit. Like, holy shit. Because, I mean, if you think of the other seasons, we lost, I don't remember what speedster we lost, but we lost, like, Wally and a couple other characters had died. I mean, there's a fucking mortuarium in, like, the basement where they keep track of people who passed away. But all these were, like, he also, like, his mom passed away, and, like, his dad died, and then, like, this and that, and he's just gone through some shit. And, like, when they break it down, it's like, fuck, like, and then, like, Granny Goodness fucking manipulated him to try to get people to, like, become not Inhumans. What are they called?
Oh, no, they wanted them to join the light. They wanted
No, it wasn't just a light, but, like, they were kidnapping kids to
they were experimenting. Yeah, they were experimenting on kids.
They were calling them something else. What was
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name, but I just remember like
it basically had like Gatorade that would turn you in.
It's called I don't watch this fucking show.
Oh, damn! You should.
I should watch it. Yeah.
You should be watching this. This is a great show.
Oh, there was something they were giving to the kids to give, like, because we got
they were giving them soda. It was an energy drink. They were marketing an energy drink to kids, and they would drink it and turn into creatures.
Oh, wasn't it? God damn it! This was on the animated series too, right?
Yeah, that's what we're still talking about. It was because that's where we got Static. Static got his powers. Static is in the series, but he hasn't been really played on or touched.
Use that Google. Someone's head is exploding. Listening, trying to yell.
Yeah,
at the microphone.
Someone wants to throw a chair at us, but it's okay. But we've been on this for a minute because it was good enough. It deserved its time in it because we haven't really talked about it. This is probably the longest we have, but it's definitely worth. Blue and I both recommend.
Reach. Is it Reach?
Yes, the Reach.
The Reach.
Yeah,
the Reach.
The Reach.
The people.
Yeah, but the Reach worked for the light. So the Reach and the light, they were
just meta.
Maybe.
Okay.
But yes, watch Young Justice Phantoms. It's worth it. Totally worth it. You can actually start with it and go back. It's really good. All right, where do y'all want to move to next?
Why don't we stay with just one other show? Go ahead.
No, just say quick little thing. Harley Quinn season 3 drop in July 28th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good shit.
There's a trailer.
Was the best ever.
Dude, I love season 1. I still got to finish up season 2.
Oh man, you're behind.
I know.
I'm behind on like everything. I finally got to see Stranger Things with the Run Up the Hill. I was just like,
Yeah,
shit.
let's go.
all
let's-
right,
yeah, let's
I
go.
got it
All right.
now.
Did you finish the
Okay.
season?
No, God damn it! I had.
Oh, man.
How am I gonna finish the season, bro?
The Rona is Vecna for him, man.
Yeah, I was literally in when I was in the hotel room. There was no door to the room, so I couldn't. Like when Riley went down, within 30 minutes we had to go to sleep or just hop on our phones. You know, it's just like I couldn't watch anything. So yeah, for the whole week.
But you did see Kate Bush.
Yes, I saw her run up that hill. So it wasn't Kate Bush, but yeah, it was. Yeah, honestly, this season's been like really good so far from what I've seen. I think that was episode 3 or I think it was episode 4. It's the one that I watched.
Episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite good. Like I really liked how they tied in music into like. I also like how they're like tying in trauma. I like just in general how a lot of shows are just bringing in trauma as like a thing because it is a thing for like a lot of people, me included, especially. So, and I think that the fact that previous generations didn't really talk about trauma is kind of a disservice. Like even like I think about like my military career, like we have a lot of like older people in the military say, "Oh, we don't have PTSD." When I was in like Nam or World War whatever the fuck, you know, 2 at this point. There's a few left from 2, but it's just like but they just call it something different. Like it was shell shocked or whatever. They had other names for it back then, and even then, even the ones that didn't say they didn't have it, they're still like a lot of really fucked up people that have those issues that just don't want to talk about it, and that do like really fucked up things in their lives and just kind of cover it up because they don't want to, you know, acknowledge like the trauma that happened in their lives. So I think it's cool from like a mental health perspective that people are getting more comfortable acknowledging trauma, you know, and getting a resolution to like whatever various trauma that they might have. So, yeah.
I completely agree. This is literally my favorite show of 2022 so far, and one of my favorite like this season of season 4. And I'm not gonna spoil it. I know you haven't gone past the running up the hill episode, but there's just so much cool shit going on. Eddie is one of my favorite new characters.
Yeah.
He's just fucking badass. You know what I mean? Yeah,
boy.
but we have to table some stuff because I don't want to go too far on it.
Well,
I want you to finish it up.
Well, before we table, I mean, we're going to table it right now because I don't want to talk about like the rest of the season because I haven't watched it yet. But I will say there was something I was not privy to up until like recently because of like an email that I got from Prime Video, formerly known as Amazon Video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they were making a live action Paper Girls until like a couple of days ago.
Oh, like the Image comic Paper Girls, yeah.
Yes, and it was like one of my favorite comics from like a few years ago. It's a Brian K. Vaughan book, and it's about a group of paper girls that it gets into like it's set in the 80s, which is kind of ties into Stranger Things because I think that there's like a lot of I think the 80s is really prime for like a lot of people right now, even though I fucking despise the 80s when I lived through it. But there's a lot of appeal for people, you know, like people like nostalgia. Like it's just like my parents when they were, you know, my age and people were like bringing back like the 70s and shit. They're just like, why, you know? So
actually, there's a trailer that just dropped today.
Oh, did it drop? Okay. So,
yeah, like I'm looking at it right now.
So
good shit.
I can't talk about the show, but I can talk about the comic. So the comic, it's gonna have some, you know, Stranger Things vibes to it because, like I said, it's set in the 80s, and it's more science fiction than Stranger Things. Sort of. I mean, there's time travel in the comics, so like a heavily time travel-y vibe to it, and it's very, you know, preteen girl focused. So. It's honestly the characters that are in the show are like really cool and like diverse, and they all have like different needs and shit like that. Like it's honestly it's a really good comic. So I hope that the show really brings that like vibe from the comics into the show because the comic book was fantastic and had a definitive fucking ending. And
I was gonna say, did it end? Like, cause I fell off on it. How many? I read like the first 1 or 2 trades, maybe 3.
Yeah, it ends. I think listen,
Actually,
I think if you have any sort of story where you have time travel involved and you don't have an ending, you're a fucking asshole.
Oh damn!
Like you're an asshole. Like time traveling, you should be able to like wrap all that shit up in like this whole story arc, right? And that should be. I think if you're gonna talk about a time traveling story, like you need to start like at the end and then kind of go backwards in fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, how do you want this to end? And then go back and then write your fucking story. But don't start the story in the beginning and then don't have an idea how you're going to fucking end it. But Brian K. Vaughan, he did a really good job of, like, wrapping everything up at the end of the... From what I remember, my comic books are in storage right now. But from what I remember, I was satisfied with the ending. Same thing with, like, East to West, not Brian K. Vaughan. It was Jonathan Hickman. One of the few things that he actually fucking finished from Image Comics. Yes, I'm judging you. But he wrapped that one up nice and well, unlike Black Monday Murders, but we don't talk about that.
little fun fact:
Or
Martin
Dying in the
McFly never made it fucking home.
Wait, what?
Even though he went back to 1985, that was not the timeline he was used to. He was used to his fucking parents being a certain way and Biff being fucking like a badass or an asshole. That was not his fucking timeline, so he never fucking made it home. He's just lost in space. But yeah, so it looks like for the trailer for Paper Girls.
Oh man, Morty.
They deliver papers, because when you say Paper Girls, I was thinking like Paper Mario, like they're made out of paper. But yeah. So actually, the first episode dropped today. So
it did drop.
For sure.
so it's out.
God
Yeah,
damn.
so the series dropped today.
Okay, so I can wait. Hold on. Give me
Double check,
literally
'cause
15
30
seconds.
seconds. Yeah,
Yeah,
30
give me because I was embargoed, but I might have just read. I thought it said July, but it could have just been this month.
Since
So
July 29th, the first episode dropped. Which
okay,
is, I think, is that today or is it tomorrow? Fuck, I
today
don't
is
know.
the 29th. So
Mhm.
hold on.
Double check, make sure.
I don't want to get in trouble because I like having access to shit. So they dropped it. Yeah, it says 7/29. Are you sure it dropped?
Oh,
Well, that's what it says on Wiki. It's saying that it dropped on the 29th.
Wikipedia don't know.
No, it's July 29th. See, you almost fucked me up.
Yeah, July. Sorry. Yeah, we're in June.
We're
Sorry.
in June. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
woo.
So yeah,
Dog-
we're a month
dog
away.
pulling.
This is why I asked, because I could have talked about the first episode right now.
Mm,
Said I'd have been-
Trailer dropped today.
We'd have been
Sure.
fucking exiled from Prime Video.
almost got caught in that
It
trap.
looks good though. It looks really good though. I'm really excited about this.
About to be running down that hill.
When are we gonna get? When are we gonna that hill? When are we gonna get Lucas Strode? Because wasn't that gonna be picked up? Because I know we're getting fucking Sandman on Netflix
We
pretty
are,
soon.
and we're also getting. There's a new A League of Their Own show that's coming out.
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
the baseball movie with the girls and Madonna?
Yes, and that's another one that I can't talk about.
Oh,
That it's coming out. I think sometime in August. So
I will say this. That was with like Tom Hanks and Rosie O'Donnell and all. That was one of those really great old school movies. Like I know I think it's aged well, hopefully.
Madonna.
But I really like that one a whole lot. And then the thing that like angered me a little bit, like to me, and this is no shade or whatever, but it proved in the 1940s that women could play baseball.
Yeah,
and it doesn't make any sense to me that there's softball at all.
You know what's funny to me is that me and Kay were talking about this earlier. Is that I think she was talking about how there was like a fight to get LGBT representation in the show because it wasn't in the movie, and I was like, wait a minute, are you sure it wasn't in the movie? So I'm pretty sure a certain character was just like, oh, you thinking of Rosie O'Donnell? And then I was like, yeah, and a couple other characters, I'm pretty sure they were gay. She's like, no, like remember they talked about them having husbands. It's like, oh, yeah, when they were very obviously like not like which is kind of weird.
I mean, it to me, and I remember watching it as a kid and as an adult. It was subtle. It was pretty subtle from the standpoint. I think it wasn't like maybe the movie was like PG-13 or was it PG? I can't even remember.
But they had husbands. That's so it wasn't subtle at all. Like when they talk about their husbands, then you can't.
Well, yes and no. I mean,
I think we all just kind of assumed.
You could be bi, of course.
I think back then though, nobody was thinking bi. Like if somebody just said like, "Yo, I got a husband," like nobody, like back in the '90s,
Well, but also there were people who were married and still gay, and just that was their,
Yeah,
they
but
were
that wasn't.
married.
I mean, just think about like when you're that age. Like remember when that first came out? Like that didn't come into our minds at all. Watching that
No,
show.
it,
Yeah.
it didn't. It definitely didn't. When I saw it as an adult, like I said, I got a few subtle hints, but nothing was overt.
My adult brain was like, I thought that person was gay, but then like I remember them talking about like their husband, and I was just like,
Yeah. But you know what it was? It was probably because Rosie had her own show as us as an adult and was out of the closet like the actress.
Well, and she was like super like at the time, even though I didn't know what Butch was at the time, like back, I was like, she was still like very, I'll say crudely like masculine presenting as like as a woman. So,
But then
there's probably better
also,
words for that, but yeah.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
one
more
girl,
than the other girls. I'll say it. Yeah.
well, same as the
She was top.
I can't think of the main actress from because this was like before.
Gina Davis.
Yeah, she had kind of a
Oh, man.
manly-ish acting style for her, but yeah, she kind of gave me that impression that she was on that. I don't want to say that side of the field, but
I had a thing for
She
Gina
was-
Davis.
she was batting
Back
for the
in
other
the day.
team.
I had a thing for Gina Davis back in the day, especially after the Long Kiss Goodnight. She is like one of the most
yeah.
underrated fucking actresses of all time. Like seriously.
She's
great.
part of Mensa.
And also that the perfect Harley Quinn when she was younger was in that show too, or in that movie too. The
Tank Girl?
Tank Girl, yeah,
Tank
yeah,
Girl?
her
Oh,
name.
Lori Petty.
That's her name.
Yeah,
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 she'd have been a
Lori Petty's her
perfect.
name.
She should be. If there's ever like an older Harley Quinn, it needs to be
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, she would have brought it. But
If they ever do Batman Beyond,
Yeah,
because if you watch Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, we get an older Harley Quinn,
Yeah.
and I think she would probably play the perfect role for that character.
yeah.
But quick little thing, real quick. So, Cronus keep referring to his partner as K. She speak like previously known as K Mac. I was like, oh, I wonder what, because Kronos is a Greek god or Greek mythology character or person, right? So I was like, oh, does Kronos have a wife? So I looked her up,
yeah.
and he does. And it's Rhea, or Rhea, I guess, yeah.
Well, yeah, a
But I
couple,
looked,
but
it
yeah.
says Rhea was the wife of Kronos. Kronos made it a practice to swallow their children. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
To avoid this, Rhea tricked Kronos into swallowing rocks.
Rock. Yeah,
Which ended up
That's what
saving her
just got
son.
out.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I was all kind of confused.
Also,
But,
Ray is also known as God damn it! It's goes by another like way more common name. I wish I wasn't drinking so much, but basically it's Gaia. I think she goes by
Yeah,
Gaia.
Gaia.
Yeah, in other tongues. But yeah, I totally knew about that, but still got a time when I was younger and fast as fuck as a runner. Just stuck. Just saying. I
There you
know
go.
swallowing your kids is kind of gross.
Well,
I mean, it could be kind of hot though if she's swallowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she swallowed with no dribble,
snowball.
no spillage.
ugh.
No snowballing. Just as long as there's no spillage.
Yeah, now that I'm seedless, I can't even say, swallow these kids or
Before we switch gears, I had a
fluid woman.
Kronos, did you get to the part of
It
how
came from my ass.
Oh no! Oh my god!
insert clown noise.
wait, so
It's terrible.
I hope somebody's laughing as hard as I am at that entire series of like just back and forth. Anyway, go ahead.
Kronos, have you got to the part of Stranger Things about how a redheaded girl got out of the Upside Down or away from Vecna?
Well, with the music.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
you did,
good.
okay.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
So-
Kate Bush, Run Up the Hill.
Yeah, so my Ask and BTI question for the group is, what would be your song that will get you to be able to escape from Vecna?
Y'all already know, groove is in the heart.
I knew it was gonna be. Yeah.
Oh dang! I forgot about you in that song. You love that song.
That shit was
Holy
so
shit.
fucking fire, man.
That's so funny to me. I forgot you're all about that song.
We're going to dance and have some fun.
I mean, it's a great song. It's one of the ones that kicked off EDM. So,
Catchy as fuck. Doom, 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 doom.
so the only acceptable version is the one that has Q-Tip in it.
Absolutely.
The only
sure.
acceptable.
Is that the only one there is?
No, there's one without him.
Oh, fuck that version.
Oh, Ninja, what would be your song to bring you back from the Upside Down?
Shit. There's actually two, but I'm gonna pick the OG. Shit.
You can't pick two, motherfucker. Pick one,
All right,
goddammit.
I'll pick one.
I'll
I'll say "Missing" by Everything But the Girl.
Look at this
That'll bring
guy.
me
We got
out.
some good choices here. All right, this
Look
is.
at you.
I would guarantee you that if somebody was watching like a black podcast, and they were just like, "What are their favorite songs?" They would not. Nobody picked either of those.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mine's gonna be fucking random as fuck.
What you got? What you got?
Mine's gonna be "Love Me Like a Wishing Well" by the fucking Michael Jackson knockoff guy. Love me like a wishing well, to kiss and tell, a wishing well, a butterfly.
I know. I know. Isn't that Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Oh,
Yes,
Isn't
it
that
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Old school, because that song lives in my brain fucking rent free. I was just walking down the street and just be like, "Love me like a wishing well." I'm thinking that's for like 80s like music. That song lives in my head rent free. But if it was like something now, it'd probably be the intro to this podcast.
There you go.
Oh shit! Damn.
All right. Cronus, what you got?
I'm gonna say Smashing Pumpkins Today. I mean, not today. Yeah,
1979?
today. Yeah, today.
Okay.
That's
all right.
good.
Today is.
I always refer to that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I always refer to that as the ice cream song.
I fucking love that song. That's one of the songs that like. It's probably like, there's like seeds for people, right? And I think that was like one of the seeds for me as like a person to like being able to like change my mind on like a lot of shit. And for me, it was like, for musically, today was like, okay, it's okay to like music that is not just rap or whatever. Like, it's okay to enjoy these sorts of songs because they can still reach you on like a deep level. And yeah, that was my song. I listened to that song a lot.
That shit is awesome, man. Dude, I can't wait till you finish this season 4, because I will say this. I think this weekend, you correct me if I'm wrong.
On the first.
Yeah, so Friday, the conclusion of season 4 for Stranger Things drops. And it's going to be like 3-4 hours. They got some long ass episodes for these last 2 episodes. So it's going to be hot fire.
It's Vecna, right? Vecna?
Yep,
Yeah.
Vecna.
I was like, it's a Vecna?
I think
It's
it's
Vecna.
Vecna. VECNA, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I think it's N instead of M.
Yeah,
N. That's why I said N. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you said M. My bad.
Victor,
but,
Echo, Charlie, November, Alpha.
Yeah, there you go. So this isn't a spoiler because it's in the fucking trailer, but there's going to be it's supposed to be like an epic guitar solo by Prodigy's quasi like man crush Eddie. So everyone's taking kind of bets that they're hoping that he's playing a particular song. My hope is that he plays The Touch, which was featured in the 1986 Transformers movie, because I think the lyrics pertain to what's happening with the kids at that time. So I think
jumping back to Kate Bush and her song being in Stranger Things. You guys hear it? Like we talked about it, I think a couple of weeks ago. Her song was #1 for like
Still is.
for a while.
yeah.
And she was making at least the numbers I saw that she was making like 250,000. I think it was like pounds a week. I'm not sure what that translated to dollars, but that's a lot of fucking money to go from like a song that dropped in like the 80s to all of a sudden like 20 years, 40 years. Damn, I catch my breath there for a second. 40 years later, she's all of a sudden bank again.
It'd be like us 40 years from now making money off this podcast, off this episode. Just this one.
Yep.
You know?
That'd be fucking random, but it'd be hot shit.
It'd be awesome, yeah. I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, oh.
And what's crazy is that she wrote, produced, like she owns the rights to the song. So any profit of coming in for the song, it's
well. Also,
great
props
for
to her. Props to her for recognizing that this was the appropriate time to license it out, and it worked so great with the Duffer Brothers. Is that Duffer, whatever it is? It worked so great in Stranger Things. So it was a perfect kind of fucking marriage. You know what I mean? 40 years later or whatever.
Well, and you know what's crazy? Like when I think about stuff like that specifically, is like I was listening to I was on a Peloton ride today, and it had Prince, "Let's Go." The song was playing. I was like, I fucking love this song. I remember like reading the God damn it, what was the I forget the name of the fucking book now. The
book by him?
The book with the golden.
It's
you know what I'm talking about, Blue knows.
The holy shit!
We're gonna mind meld here. Blue knows what I'm talking about.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player 2.
Yeah, holy shit. Two.
Yeah, so Ready Player 2, there was heavy references for Prince. And I was just thinking, like, all these, like, people, all these references for, like, Ready Player 1 was, like, really, not recently popularized, like, having, like, all these references to, like, old songs and old, like, shit. But it's like, could you imagine, like, all these old, obscure 80s musicians that were just like, no, I don't want this, my song in a movie. Like, what? Just license it for even just a little bit of money, and it'll pay back dividends for you because nobody knows who the fuck you are. The vast majority of Americans forgot who the fuck Kate Bush was. They forgot what that song was. They forgot all about that shit. But the fact that she decided to license that song for that specific episode and everybody looked it up, like, bruh.
Dude, I got another quick example for you. When Thor Ragnarok dropped a few years back, and they used Led Zeppelin's Immigrant Song.
Yeah.
That shit went so fucking hard. My daughter, who was like 4 or 5 at the fucking time, was just like, Daddy, I love Led Zeppelin. Let's listen to more Led Zeppelin or whatever.
Yeah.
And the plays for that went through the fucking roof. At least in my house, probably all over the world, you know?
License your shit for probably cheaper than you want. And it'll pay dividends because especially if you're like I don't want to say washed up, but if you're like a musician that hasn't had a hit in years and you know for sure that this current generation has no fucking idea who you are, but a popular, movie or show or whatever has the influence to like bring your music to this new generation, like just fucking do it. Take the slight financial, you're not even taking a hit. They're going to pay you anyway to put you in it. Okay, so just take the, whatever they're going to ask you to do, monetarily, and it's going to make you more popular instantly.
Right now,
that we kind of saw this with other instances, like when for Super Bowl, like Missy Elliott came out and she did a song, and she did Work It, and that shit blew up on iTunes. Like it was number 1 on iTunes for like a couple of weeks, and it blew up. But then also like Kanye, he brought on because this shit's been trending lately. He brought on one of the guys from the Beatles, and people were tweeting like, "Oh yeah, discovered this."
He had
changed his life, and it's like this guy is fucking a god compared to Kanye. Like holy shit! Like
so, the song you're talking about, Blue, is 4-5, and it's Paul McCartney, Rihanna, and Kanye.
My thing is this though, like it really doesn't cost you anything. Kate Bush right now could headline all the summer shows throughout the fucking world right now. You know what I mean? Like she could be on stage.
She could play just one song.
Crazy
yeah,
just one song, just fucking one song. Sing one song and some B-side bullshit, and you get all kind of paid. Lollapalooza, whatever the fuck, Outside Lands, Coachella, all of them. She could actually do that now. And literally a few months ago, everybody under the age of 25 didn't know who the fuck she was.
So I looked up on the Sun. Actually, the Sun, the tabloid. I don't remember, but it says according to the Sun, Running Up the Hill was earning Bush 250,000 pounds a week from streaming on Spotify, which seen over a million streams per day. In the U.S., that is around $306,361 a week.
If you're making
more than $250,000 a week.
Let me just give you a better thing, all right? If you're making that much money off of Spotify from an artist that doesn't currently make music, you have so many fucking plays. She's probably getting billions of plays at this point.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
she probably doesn't have like a legit or like, you know, a really high Spotify contract. She's not fucking,
Yeah.
you know, like a Taylor Swift. You know, she's not
Yeah,
Beyonce. So she's not getting, you know, some crazy fucking deal with Spotify. She's some artist that made music a while back and she's making that much money off of that. So, yeah.
She's also notoriously known for not really doing like interviews. Like she
Yep.
doesn't do in-person interviews. The interview she did recently was like a phone-in. Like a radio station in the UK called her and she just like, you know, she just did a phone in and was just like very thankful. She's more grateful that her music is touching a new generation. So she literally had a message for all the people, young kids that are discovering her music now. She thanked them wholeheartedly. She had to like, you know, a nice little cute message, and then she talked. Oh, and then she talked about what the song was about.
Yeah.
So she talks about what the song was about, what it originally meant, and how she identified the song with the show. That's why she let them use it. So I was like, oh, that's actually
Smart.
pretty cool too.
It's not
Fucking
even her most
smart
popular
woman.
song.
Yeah. Let me give you another quick example though. And it was earlier from this year. The Batman with Pattinson. They used a Nirvana song in that fucking trailer and in the movie.
They used it in the movie.
Yeah, in the movie and the trailer. That shit went hard as fuck for whatever reason. It really went with the fucking Batman. I never would have thought that prior. And you got a whole bunch of fans, including my kids and whatnot, that were just like, oh, let me hear this band Nirvana. You know, you know what I mean?
They're all,
Fucking
Dad,
jamming out.
have you heard of this band, Dad? Do you know them?
I'm like, yeah, hold on. Sit down, little kid. Let me tell you about how this dude shot himself in the face with a shotgun, but definitely didn't because his fucking wife definitely killed him.
Oh, damn. Damn.
Shout
my
out
God.
to Clay. I had to ask in the chat, what would be your sort of choice if you would be taken by Vector? What song would save you? He said it would be Human Nature by MJ, which that's a good song.
Yeah.
I have
Really
a
good song.
Okay.
And
Okay.
also,
Really I will
fellas, if you gotta be by Desiree.
Okay.
That's a great
Oh,
song.
yeah. So that's another one. That's another one on Prodigy's list.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. Dude, I gotta say this. Kronos, your brother's eldest daughter used to crack me up because she's always a big fan. I'm not trying to embarrass her, of wearing a whole lot of band shirts, like from the 90s and 80s. And every time I see her in it, you know, and I don't want to be that old guy or whatever, but I'm like, oh, so do you know any Red Hot Chili Pepper songs? You know what I mean? Or do you know any Pearl Jam songs? And she's just like, who? I just like the shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
She's all, this
I
shirt
think-
was clean. I just put it on.
I haven't seen her wear too many like shorts like that, but she's also in like she's in the odd years.
Yeah.
Right? So like teenage girls go through like odd years where like they don't communicate very well with like anybody but like their friends. You know what I mean? So it's like we talked a little bit, but it's like it's not very much. But I think like next time I see her wear like a shirt where it's like a band, it's like, do you want to listen to this band? And like we'll listen to like some of the greatest shit because I see that a lot with like the new generation. Actually, no, I can't say that. With all generations, us included, okay? Because I don't want to just say like we were immune to this shit because motherfuckers in my generation were wearing Pink Floyd shirts, and they still do it today because we're in the cycle where it repeated again. That's how old we are. It's fucking weird, but
Bruce they were in the Matrix.
yeah, it's like just listen to the. If you're gonna buy a shirt by a band or something like that, or just whatever, like listen to their music. You might like it, you know, or you might dislike it. Maybe you never wear the shirt again. But there's like a lot of really cool bands out there and like artists that made like really cool shit that are just like they're like really cool gems that we're in a really interesting time where we can appreciate all this music. Especially now, it's so fucking easy to get music. It's so easy to get music. Like back in our day, I hate saying that, but like having to go to a fucking store. So when I was back in Newark, when I had to go, I didn't have to go back, but when I went back for my youngest daughter's graduation and to get my motorcycles and do a bunch of other shit, I was staying in a hotel that literally used to be where my second job that I had in life. You know, I used to work in the movie theaters in Newark. California, and it was overlooking the mall, and literally the mall, New Park Mall. They're tearing down literally almost half the mall for a Costco.
Mhm.
And the
They're
other
almost
half,
done with that shit already.
yeah, and the other half is still going to be like a mall. And I'm walking past like where like the cutoff line is for like where the Costco is, and I'm like, that used to be like a warehouse where I used to go to like buy cassette tapes and then CDs, and then that's where I had to go for music before, I figured out
right.
MP3s, and then Napster happened, and then after Napster happened, Napster changed the fucking world.
Mhm.
It really, even if you weren't, if you had no idea what Napster was, Napster is the reason why you have
Spotify.
not even just Napster is the reason why you have fucking iPhones.
iTunes. Yeah.
Yeah, not even just iTunes, iPhones.
Yeah. Sure. iPhones. Yeah.
iPhone, because it started with the iPod, and then because of Napster. Because I was like, when Napster came out, I was just like, why is there like literally no way to buy music legally digitally? And that's why we had Napster back in the day. And then Napster went to like LimeWire and all those other fucking bullshit things that gave your computers viruses and shit. And then and then Apple was like, oh yeah, they're like, you can make music off this. So that's when iTunes happened and like iPod and all that shit. But yeah, like that's not getting music now is like not a thing. It's the same thing of like, it's like imagining like 300 years ago, like getting food. You know what I mean? But we accept, like, just imagine getting food 300 years ago. You couldn't go to a fucking store. You had to get it yourself, right? You had to actually get up, kill some shit, get it. For music, it wasn't that extreme, but still, within my lifetime, we had to literally get our asses out of the house to walk down to a store, buy a physical thing, come back, and then listen to it. And now it's just you can download it from the air. It's
like we had radio. We had radio, and like you had to like sit there and wait for your song that you wanted to hear to play, and you're sitting there on the record. You had to record. You have to push record and record and play.
Yeah,
record something. Yeah. You're sitting with that's the song that's gonna play. Like you call in the radio station. That was bootlegging or pirating back then.
I guess.
Audio.
The pirating. The best part about cassette tapes is like taking the tape, actual like Scotch tape, and then covering up the hole with like a recorded, cassette tape that you didn't really want to listen to, and then recording over it. That was like, so the cassette tape is actually the thing that actually really changed the world of music.
Yep.
There's actually a really good podcast on Radio Lab about this, on how like actually recording and playing back in like decent fidelity on cassette tape, because before that time, like it was either when you had it on record. Records are cool for like a lot of stuff, but it doesn't play very well when you transmit it through like the radio waves.
Yeah.
And
the cassettes were cheap to mass produce too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing that they talk about in the podcast are on Radio Lab, is because they had all these tapes that they're supposed to get destroyed in other countries, and those are the countries. I think it was Japan, where they like literally had people that would go through and like, because they would saw the fucking tapes in half and then ship them to Japan, and then people in Japan would like literally go through and like stitch them back together to like get the music, and then like there's a whole underground scene about this. It was fucking amazing. So yeah, listen to Radio Lab about cassette tapes. There's like, I think it's 5 episodes. It's fucking amazing.
Yep, dude. I fucking love the music fucking history. Man.
Yeah, I remember. Y'all remember what was it, Columbia House?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So y'all. So this is how this was.
Down.
Yeah, this was our internet. Basically, Columbia House was like it was a mail service. It's basically
pyramid scheme.
It was a pyramid scheme. It was like pre-Amazon, this weird pyramid scheme. Basically, they would be like, what they say? They say you can get 10 CDs. So a CD is a compact disc.
50 or something.
Yeah, you get like 10 to 25 CDs, 10 cents a CD. So in the store, these CDs cost like $15 per CD. And they were advertising that you can get 10 of them per CD. All you had to do was sign up with them, and they would send it to you, your first one for like $1 or whatever. And then like you would do it, you would get your CDs. You would, oh shit.
Yeah.
I got what I wanted. Then you get a bill. And the bill was like $50. for like shipping, handling, and all this other
Is
bullshit.
Let me just say this because some people still don't quite get this. You had to be a rich motherfucker to have a music collection. I'm gonna say that again. You had to be a goddamn baller to have a real music
a
library.
legitimate library. I'm not. So
Yeah.
a lot of us had music libraries, but they were not like if you went to somebody's house and they had like a fucking bookshelf full of like bought compact discs, they were balling like a motherfucker.
Yep.
Dude,
Like, yeah.
compact disc was like $20, $30. Like that shit was not fucking cheap. I think it was like Biggie's like Life After Death album because he had 2 fucking CDs. I think that was like good $35, $40.
That was $30.
Yeah,
That was $30.
So, they're for you youngsters out here are listening. There used to be a company called Tower Records, and they would buy your used fucking CDs and stuff like that. They would not buy your Colombian House CDs because they knew that you got it for pennies on the dollar for some fucking reason. And they're on the back of on the label, it would have like it would say that it was from Columbia House. But I had a friend that worked at Tower Records that hooked us up, so we were getting fucking. She would so when they scan the CDs, like the amount would come up that would tell them like how much the CDs is worth. She was a manager, so she would change it. So she was giving us like full price, a little bit more than that. That's how I got my first fucking PlayStation. Was using credits that from old CDs that we have, and she would even take CDs. She would take CDs that the CDs weren't in there. She would just take the fucking case and ring us up for it. It was the biggest scam that I was part of. But I got my first PlayStation came from that, and it was great. Then she got fired.
That was not my biggest scam. My biggest scam surrounding music, anyway, is that I would buy a CD, and so when you buy a CD, Blue knows. He knows.
Yeah, I know that trick.
He knows my. So what you would do, you could dislocate like the hinge, because when you bought a CD, there's a tape on like the where you open the shit up from, and so obviously you have to like cut the tape to like open the CD case and then listen to music or whatever. So that's how they knew that you opened the shit, right? But the tape is only on one side, and the tape was on the side opposite of the hinges. So what I would do is I would use my fingers to dislocate the actual hinge, open it up the other way, and then I would take the CD and then burn it or rip it, and then put it back. And then I worked at another place where I had access to like a cellophane machine, and I would just reseal it and then give it back and then sell it back.
That's so fucking good.
And that's a good one.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, don't ever forget in the world of 90s scams, the PlayStation 1 used to be able to rent fucking games from Hollywood Video or Blockbuster or Hollywood or whatever, burn them, and then obviously give them back or whatever. And people used to rent out 5, 10 or more at a fucking time and literally play the entire fucking good game library of PlayStation 1, which was solid as fuck.
So that practice continued with the Wii. So with the Wii, you could do the same thing with the freaking external storage. Yeah, so I have one. You can just mod it to where it would rip the game onto the storage drive, and you could rent at the time. You could still rent the game. Well, at the time, you can rent it from like Redbox or something. Yeah. No, you just rent it, rip it, and return it. You can have like the whole library for like $10. You have 10 games.
So everything we just explained is why we have DRM, which is what I hate. But we literally explained to you why we have DRM.
Yep.
Is because assholes like us. So
I have my I still have my PS2, and I literally have this fucking. I have a device that goes to the back. So the fat body PS2 had a PCI port on the back, and there's literally like a device you could buy that would allow the PlayStation 2 to be able to rip games and store it onto a fucking hard drive. You can play any game. It'll rip it, store it on a hard drive so you can fucking play it later. And then like there was a module menu that you just go through all the games. I had like back at the time, this seems like a lot of games. I had like maybe 200 games on there, and even like games for different countries will still fucking run. And I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. This is like our version, or not our version because it's still ours, but like the next generation of like the game chart. Like it had all the shit on there, but you can also change like the coding and stuff too. So you could have infinite life, jump higher, more boost when you're fucking playing like street.
It's like Game Shark.
Yeah, it's fucking game chart on fucking steroids.
Well,
it was fucking.
I gotta say though, I think there's definitely like a thing that needs to be said. It's like when you're younger and you can't afford shit. I mean, I can't say don't go that route. I mean, if you can't afford shit, then I mean, go that route. I wish we lived in a society to where you didn't have to resort to such like illegal bullshit just to, like be entertained in our society. At least in America. I can't talk about like the rest of the world, but it definitely happens here in America. But it's just like, could you imagine like if we just had enough resources when we were in our younger days, kids, and in our younger 20s, like just having enough shit to like put food on the table, pay our rent, and then also be entertained. But when we were growing up, like that wasn't really a thing. So you just grew up broke and ate like fucking ramen and cheap shit and ripped all your fucking games and got shit from LimeWire or Napster or whatever. It's just that's just the way you did things. So I can't fault kids today that do whatever to like get by too. It's like I think a lot of like people that are our age are very critical about kids that are younger than us. About they're just trying to get free shit. It's like, bitch, we all got free shit.
Yep.
When we were younger.
It was almost beyond free because literally shit that I didn't
I would sell it.
ask for. I didn't ask for the fucking every single Bjork song in the history of the fucking world. But one of my friends was just like, even if you don't like Bjork, here's every album she's ever made. Oh, you want every Wu-Tang song? Here you fucking go. You know what I mean?
You also got to be careful because like you download that one song, you be like, oh shit, it's my jam, and all of a sudden, DJ Blue.
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. That's all gone now. Well, I'm sorry, it's gone for us now, but it's probably not gone for like the younger generation because like now I get shit on like Amazon Music, and then like when I feel a certain kind of way about certain artists to where I will definitely make sure that I buy their shit and download it. So like Kendrick Lamar, Run the Jewels, Death Clock. There's a few other artists out there that like, even though I'm paying for a service, I will buy your shit no matter what because I want to make sure that you survive after all this bullshit. So,
well, that and then
and I rip about shit. So,
yeah, and I know Kronos had his story at the very beginning of the fucking podcast and all, but hopefully, knock on wood, Rona is dying down because I'd love to see the best of the best artists be able to do really packed shows, indoors and outdoors. You know what I mean? Like just the return of fucking concerts. That's where a whole lot of up and coming artists make their fucking money. Selling merch and shit, and I want to see them thrive. So, I'm all about it. Fuck.
But I was gonna say one quick little thing. I'm pretty sure we all have just out there. There's a CD, a hard drive, or a little flash drive that has some MP3s that you downloaded that just you go back and play it, and all of a sudden you hear DJ Blue.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? Hold on, we talked about it like probably years ago, but we need to do like our own like Spotify like playlist where we all just toss in like our favorite songs on it, some shit.
We have so the Spotify list that we talked about.
Hold on,
we have we have our list of like love songs, which we
that's not enough because you.
I know it's not enough, but we at least have that, and we each made a list, including Stitch.
We did.
Okay, we need to update with just like
I don't remember whether I know it's on the episode. I don't remember which, but I know we typed it up. I don't remember where it is.
We can do another one.
Yeah, we need to do like
I gotta. So going back to ripping CDs and stuff like that, like I would make CDs about because back in the days, like you make a mixtape about like for your girl, blah blah blah. But like, there's always that song like you can make love to, like In Between the Sheets by was it Josie?
The Isley Brothers.
Damn, what the fuck, bro?
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I don't
Definitely
know.
not. I mean,
Freaking you is
Jodeci,
just.
yeah, freak, yeah.
That's what it is. That's sorry, I got my my sexual terms mixed up. In between the sheets, and freaking you.
I will never forget in my fucking life hearing a freaking you on a fucking JoJo outro. That's just
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is going on? This is awesome. We do gotta switch gears and take it down a little bit. I mean, there's obviously some real fucking shit that went down.
Oh,
You know, not to sour the
have
fucking
to.
mood, but
Yeah.
Well, I already called it. I said we're gonna
yeah.
cover it up, but go ahead. You don't speak on it. You
I
spoke
mean,
it into existence. Let's get it.
yeah, I mean, look, you know, I'm speaking for myself. Some people disagree with this and hate it and all that, but the terrorists fucking won, goddammit. And I mean that with all disrespect. I think it was in fact it was last Friday. Abortion is up to the states. Roe versus Wade got overturned. In 22 and counting, maybe up to 23 or 24 states now. It's pretty much a done fucking deal, and they're going to arrest doctors, OBGYNs, administrators, and pregnant women, unfortunately, for getting access to reproductive care. And I want to be really clear on this before everybody else jumps in. I'm purposely saying women's reproductive care. You know, in fact, I had a long conversation with Mishka about this and some other folks. Sometimes people try to be way too inclusive and all that. This is a women's reproductive care issue, at least for me, the way I'm viewing it. What do you guys think? It did happen. What's up?
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah,
I was trying to pause and wait to see what y'all gonna say. But me and Prodigy are on the 100% the same page. This is I'm gonna go even further. Like this legislation, it's not legislation. The repealing of Roe versus Wade is gonna kill women. 100% gonna kill women, because I have seen like all the arguments, and I've seen stupid ass motherfucking dudes and even women that have stood up and like not understood that there are certain kinds of pregnancies, even if you get beyond, you know, the fact that just a woman's right to choose, you know, whether or not they want to have a pregnancy. Like, I don't even want to get into that conversation, even though I 100% believe that a woman has the right to choose whether or not they want to have a life growing in their body. There are certain kind of pregnancies out there that will 100% kill a woman if the I can't even say baby.
Pregnancy.
I'm trying to think of better words to
Fetus?
say.
Fetus?
Yeah, okay, definitely could be a fetus.
Yeah,
You know, grows inside their body, and you know they cannot miscarry it. If they cannot eject this clump of cells, this growth inside their body, because I can't say a baby, because a lot of times it's not a baby yet. You know, it's a potential baby. 100% with you there, but there are certain times to where, you know, there are a clump of cells that are in their body, but it's not in the right spot. I'll speak about ectopic pregnancies, if you want to say that, where like literally this is not going to be a viable, you know, pregnancy to begin with. Won't be a fetus at all because it's growing somewhere where it should not be growing. It's not inside the uterus, but it can kill the mother, and it's never ever going to be an actual baby in any sense of the term. But there are states in the United States to where even that, you cannot abort that baby. And that, to me, that is beyond cruel. And it goes back to like a lot of I'm debating on, actually I don't give a fuck. I've been drinking. I don't care. It goes back to like a lot of like really fucked up racist shit in America, like forcing, you know, black and brown women to have children and raping them and having them have kids, and, you know, also getting the numbers of white babies up, because we already know, like right now, the trajectory of white people in America are on the decline, and they know that if you look at statistically, the mortality rates of pregnancy, the mortality rates of women that are pregnant in America are way down with black and especially black women and indigenous women. Like they're way more likely to die from pregnancies from a variety of reasons, mostly because of a fucking lack of care from our healthcare system. And that goes, if you want to go back into the healthcare system, we can do that. But the healthcare in America is really fucked up. Like, it's great if you have a lot of money and if you're white, but if you're not either of those, you're kind of fucked. You know what I mean? So people just need to take a step back, shut the fuck up. And I'm disgusted with America. This is not, as a U.S. Marine, I never would have thought that we'd be arguing for basic human rights in America in 2022. Like, this is really ridiculous. And they're already like setting up the stage to like repeal more rights. But for now, we have to focus on women in general because that's what they've attacked and then successfully attacked. And go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, you're absolutely right, but it's women and girls, unfortunately. And I have to include that just because sadly, there are some 10 or 11 or 12-year-old girls, not even teenagers, that through rape and incest will become pregnant and be forced to have a baby before literally their bodies are really ready. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's like one of the weird things. I was listening to like a podcast the other day about like it was about like, this is kind of weird. It was a Radio Lab podcast. It was like one of their first ones about girls when they get their periods, and they were like, "Oh, I'm a woman now," but it's like, no, you're not a woman yet. You're fertile, yes, but I would not consider somebody that is 12, 13, 14, even 15 up into like a while. Yeah, like you're not a woman yet. Like, yeah, you can have a baby, but if you can't properly like take care of that baby, and the same thing goes for I mean, obviously, I'm not getting into that, but if you can't like take care of the baby on your own, like there's an issue there, and you're not even beyond like just basic needs like financially, you cannot psychologically or emotionally take care of a child when you're not even an adult. And I don't think that that's like controversial to me. And it's just like, and it's really fucked up that they get to that level of things. And like, people are really okay with like girls getting raped or even women getting raped and like having to like carry that child to term. And then what do you do with them? What do you do with that child? Like, seriously.
Can I tell you a really fucked up thing that's going to sound out there as shit, but there's unfortunately, there's a lot of good science behind it. A book from, I want to say it was 05 or 06, and they do have a podcast about this book. It's called Freakonomics. And maybe Kronos knows where I'm going, or maybe Old Ninja too. Literally from, what was it, 1973 with the Roe Vs Wade decision, there was a crime wave in this country. The crime wave went down after Roe versus Wade, a few years, obviously. You had to have some lag time, but in direct correlation to allowing women and girls to make their own decisions about their own reproductive health and wanting to be a mother at that time. And I think after a significant lag, you're going to see crime also go up to 70s, 60s, and 80s level again, unfortunately.
I mean, this is the problem with like, hold on. This is the problem with quote unquote crime. Because they're making it a crime to choose what you want to grow inside your body.
Correct.
So 100% what probably you just said is going to happen. Like crime, I'm quoting in air quotes, will go up because of this in certain states. Mm-hmm. Because you're making something illegal that should not be illegal. And it's fucking bullshit. I am terrified for you know, my oldest daughter, which I don't know if she's still up right now, but she was in the chat before. But I'm just like, she's in a state that is like it's fucking real wishy washy. I'm like, where are they going with this? And it's kind of a purple state. And like, if they go the wrong direction, it's just like, what is she gonna do? And even here, we're pretty much safe, but it's just like, what if they made it federally illegal? Like, if they made it federally illegal? I would have to get a vasectomy. I would like, and it wouldn't even be like I've been hesitant before. I've been waiting for like a certain kind of vasectomy, but if it became federally illegal, I would have to either we would have to leave the United States, or I'd have to get a vasectomy because I know that if I accidentally got Kay pregnant, that is 100% life threatening to her, and that is not even I'm not exaggerating. It's life threatening to her.
You do get used to the clown noises when you nut. I will tell you that. You get used to it after a while. It takes a year or two.
I would actually ask for the MP3 speaker insertion into my penis when I fucking
Bluetooth
for that
enable.
Oh wait, I thought they fixed that. You just do the mustard through the pee hole, and you'll be all right.
That's quite painful. I'm just saying.
I mean, no pain, no gain.
Oh god damn it!
Something that's crazy is that. Sorry, I just want
Go
to.
ahead. No, go ahead, Blue. Go ahead, Blue.
A lot of these doctors. So a lot of the doctors that specialize in abortions, like they went. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could do other things, but they went to school. They learned how to do specific procedure, and they focus on like doing abortion. And then all of a sudden, like they can't do their practice anymore. Like, I mean, it's kind of sad that like you're taking bread and butter out of their hands.
Real quick, can I give you a real quick example of like, even you said they could do other things? I'm an IT guy. All right, I am very fucking specific on what I do. Can I do something else? Yes, but holy fucking shit. It'd be a lot.
I would not have a doctor who previously did abortions, check my rectal colon or something like that.
I'll say this. We all know I'm in healthcare. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But you're talking about OB-GYNs. And here's what's going to happen. Not a if, not a probably, not a maybe. I'm saying going to, and very, very fucking quickly. In every single state where it is completely illegal, and that's like literally changing as we speak right now, in 22, 24 states, whatever the fuck it is, the OB-GYNs are not going to put their license at risk or their livelihood, like going to federal fucking prison over this issue. They're going to fucking leave. And you, as a woman who's in Alabama or Arkansas or any former slave state, you, even if you don't need abortion services, you just need to see your OB-GYN for your regular lady stuff, you're going to have a longer fucking wait time because there's going to be less fucking doctors in those states. Not even just those states, regions.
Well,
and so poor black and brown women and low-income white women are going to suffer. The ones that are rich and whatnot are going to fly to New York, fly to Los Angeles, San Diego, whatever the fuck it is. But you're going to see plenty leave. And then the ones who are graduating medical school are not going to be performing services as a whole in rural Arkansas or Alabama or whatever the fuck. They're just not going to fucking do it. So you're going to see a ripple effect of not only the death that Kronos alluded to earlier with women just fucking dying, but also women who just need routine fucking care that's non-critical, waiting months, if at all, to receive necessary health care. This is a fucking disaster.
So to piggyback on what Prodigy was talking about, so I believe every major city that I'm aware of, they have Planned Parenthood. And Planned Parenthood is usually at the top of, at least it's like the top 3 talking points when it comes to, abortions here. And they also did, even though they perform abortions, they also provide numerous sexual health for both sexes across the nation. Now you take away this, so this could potentially close some of these offices that are giving care to low income
It's
families. They could.
there's no sorry, Odin. There's no fucking potential. This is already happening. There are reports of women's clinics all over, closing, telling people that they only have a few weeks to operate, a few days to operate, canceling appointments. This is reality right fucking now. And really quickly, sorry, just to make sure I'm crystal clear, because some people may not get why the fuck I said what I said at the very beginning. I said the terrorists won, and I used those words very specifically because throughout the 80s and 90s and early aughts, and even into
Even in 70s.
2010s, there were people being threatened, including doctors, administrators, and young girls who were pregnant and wanted to access services at Planned Parenthood, being threatened, bomb threats, killings, murders, and all of that other stuff happened. Doctors got killed with terrorist fucking actions, and a lot, the overwhelming majority of the pro-life folks who want this reality that we're in right now, this dystopian reality, supported the terrorism that actually happened. And for whatever fucking pussy-ass reason, a lot of that history gets left out of the conversation.
Well, we know why it's
I'm not
left out.
having it.
We know why it's left out.
It's part of the history.
But I mean, the problem is that we have in America, we have the minority ruling once again. This is the minority ruling. Like, people want to, ask, like, why is this happening? Like, honestly, I will tell you the number one reason why this is happening. The fucking filibuster. All right? That's number one. The filibuster. Because you have, and also the Electoral College. That's close behind number two. Is that we have literally an overrepresentation of people in our government and lawmakers and even in the goddamn Supreme Court, which no single voter voted for in the Supreme Court that are in there. They're overrepresented. Like, if you're on the right, if you consider yourself a conservative in America, you are in the minority. You just are. If you're in the GOP, if you vote, as a Republican, you're in the minority. There are more independent voters in America than there are Republicans. And I'm not even saying Democrats. I'm saying fucking independents. There are more independents in America than there are Republicans. Yet somehow in America, we're getting, these GOP, evangelical views, overrepresentation in our laws, and we have a lack of amendments in America. We haven't had an amendment. I think I said this either on this podcast or like
70s or some shit.
Yeah, it's been like in the 70s. I think I talked about it last on Balance Exchange. It's been in the 70s, and it's.
Did we talk about it in the podcast?
Yeah, one of the main reasons is because of the filibuster, which is bullshit. They need to repeal that. So if you want to talk about, like, how can we fix this, then the government needs to shut down and then fix the filibuster. I mean, honestly, repeal the filibuster and fix that shit, because the filibuster has, like, extremely racist roots, and it has to do with, suppressing, people of color's votes and our rights and women's rights and any sort of civil rights go back to the filibuster. That's why you need if you're wondering why, hey, the Democrats have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, why can't they just pass a whole bunch of shit? It's because of the filibuster, because you need a supermajority in, the House and the Senate, and the House and the Senate combined are Congress. You need a supermajority to pass some shit. And that's not the way it should be in America. You shouldn't need a fucking supermajority to pass anything. You should just need a majority. But the problem is that there's way more people that are, either left-leaning or left-adjacent in America that want to pass some shit. And there are people that, if you look at, like, the Republican senators, like, how the amount of people that they actually represent are way less than people that are on the left. If you look at the last fucking presidency, Like the last, I think three, the last 3 Republican presidents have all lost the popular vote. Have all lost the popular vote.
They
60
still won.
conservatively, at least, according to the polls, 65% of Americans support or supported, I have to use past tense, Roe versus Wade.
Yes.
That's already a majority of Americans that believed in this shit. Now, I'm going to throw some shade too on 2 things.
Democrats,
Number
please.
one, number one, and again, 2 things. Number one, I see this online all the time. Yes, there are plenty of men that deserve all kind of blame, usually white conservative men, evangelical men. However, equally as shitty, according to the exit polls and all of that, conservative white evangelical women voted for this reality.
Yes.
And they don't seem to get nearly enough attention for taking women's rights away as well. And then secondly, I will say there's nowhere near enough vigor on the Democratic side.
Thank you.
With Biden, with the congressmen and the senators that they do have, with the slight majority, to, from an executive order standpoint, to expanding Medi-Cal, to expanding Planned Parenthood, to changing a whole lot of public health things. Because you can still do a lot. We learned a lot even during the pandemic. There's none of that really happening. It's all this, wait till November. Women are dying now, and you had a fucking heads up in May from a goddamn leak about this, and still did nothing.
Yeah.
How do you get a heads up and still act like, oh, I can't believe this is happening?
Prodigy,
It's like
even beyond that, hold on, real quick. Even beyond that, like, President Obama, he could have codified this in his term.
Yep.
He could have. And when I hate saying this, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg, when she was alive, she should have retired when Obama was president. I have no idea why she decided to try to hang on. It's like, listen, you only have so many. We all have a fucking time limit, all right? And when you start getting your fucking 60s,
you'll have expiration date.
It's there. Like you should need. I'm in my time limit when I saw that shit in my fucking teens.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna die someday. Like what the fuck? But she was in her fucking 70s when Obama was elected, and she decided not to step down. And because of that, I'm not blaming all this on her, because obviously she couldn't have saw it coming. But at the same time, it's like you already passed, your retirement age. Like, why are you still doing this? At the same time, it's like the Supreme Court nominees, these should not be lifetime appointments. I think that's what we need to learn. People are talking about expanding the Supreme Court. Yeah, you can do that. But also, none of these should be lifetime appointments. Like, there is no other sort of anything to where, especially in government, where nobody voted, like the people didn't vote on this person, and they're just, once you get voted in by somebody, you're there for life. It's fucking insane. You should there should never be lifetime appointment for anything.
Well, also that it shouldn't be like somebody can randomly just throw you into the fucking position as well. Like we vote for one person for the presidency. It should be the same for this position as well. Like there's no reason why it should just be some guy like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna say this person should get this job, and that's how that shit's gonna happen. I want to be able to go on like CNN and see the goddamn job interview, like ask questions. Like there should be like a YouTube stream where the world gets to interview this person. Like, oh, do you like butt plugs? Like there should be.
All right, Blue.
I'm just fucking joking around with that one, but depends on what clown noise they make. I was gonna say I got one other. You want to hear some fucked up history?
Let's go.
So, little known fact, and you can Wikipedia this because I know most people will not believe me. In the Roe versus Wade, way back in the early 70s,
Oh yeah.
you know what she did? The woman who won and got the right for abortion, she actually blamed, with a bunch of lies, the fact that she became pregnant on a bunch of black men raping her. So,
Oh yeah, this is. I
yeah,
figured. I thought that was known because they've been
no,
talking about this recently.
a lot of
I've,
people do not. They leave that part out a lot.
Recently, I knew
I've
about.
been recently everyone's been talking about that
I'm
she lied, and then she went back on it.
Like
And
5 kids and shit.
what's weird to me is that Prodigy, you brought this up like 3 weeks ago about the comedian who was said, I'm paraphrasing, like what would happen to these white conservative congressmen if their daughters were raped and got pregnant by black men.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
She got in fucking trouble for that shit.
That narrative parallels that story
Yeah.
with what happened with her, which is weird to me because what you should have just stopped your sentence at rape, even though you shouldn't even be talking about it in that context. But just you can literally just say unwanted pregnancy. Why does it have to be black men raping these little white girls? It could be any minority, really, to be honest.
But
This narrative parallels what happened in a false narrative back in the 70s.
I'm assuming that she was not actually raped by a bunch of black dudes.
No, she lied.
Okay.
She lied.
No, she was just making up bullshit. That's
She got pregnant by her husband, right?
somebody.
Mailman.
She had
the milkman. Was that back then?
She had 3 pregnancies, and her third one she wanted it terminated.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm very glad that the Supreme Court, rightly so, back in the early 70s, gave women the right and access to be able to have authority over their own reproductive health. That's a good thing.
Well, I mean,
all I'm trying to point out is from a historical standpoint, again, there's always these undertones, no matter what's going on, of
racist bullshit. Yeah.
Racist bullshit of the black man is the evil rapist, and let me lie on him.
Mm-hmm.
So fuck all that.
It's in the same vein. It's like black men are rapists and they're so
Savages.
sexually ravenous, and then at the same time they'll say black women are so sexually whatever, and they just want to have fuck everything, and they're okay with you raping them, or it's just it's a lot of fucking fucked up racist bullshit in America. And then when you bring it up, people are just like, they get so offended. It's like, what's more offensive to you, hearing it or knowing that somebody in your family got raped by somebody that by whoever they got raped, and then that never enters their mind.
Most of the family members.
Huh?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
No, I was just saying, like some of those are family members, or they're raped by other family members. That's incest, basically. But
and here's the thing: we all know rape is egregious. It's terrible. It's a incredibly ugly fucking crime against humanity. I get it. Don't fucking lie. That's all I want to say about that. But back to Roe versus Wade. This is going to have long-term repercussions, and also just from America's standing in the fucking world, it makes us puts us in a very different light amongst other Western industrialized countries. It really fucking does. We're going to see what effects this will have, but this is a dystopian fucking nightmare for women, girls, and just rights as a whole in this fucking country. This is going to be absolutely terrible, and I don't see nearly enough panic. I remember when the leak dropped in, what was it, May? It was only a few weeks back.
it was like April, May, or some shit.
And it was scary. It was like, well, is this real? And some folks, in Congress, we're going to get the leaker and whatnot. It was absolutely legit. Whoever leaked that was a fucking hero. Shout out to them. I wish more
when
was
that
done
leak
with the information.
Happened, I didn't hear anybody like anybody from Congress saying like, "Oh no, this is not. We're sort of debating this and blah blah blah." It was radio silence. Like I didn't feel like this shit was going to be overturned at all. Or I mean, not overturned. I didn't feel like this leak was fake. Like this leak was like, yo, I got into a fucking DeLorean, went to the future, saw the future, and here's what fucking happened. Like this leak was legit, and the shit came fucking true. And it's like, holy shit, like this person probably should have got some lottery numbers when they came back, because it's just fucking crazy. But shout out to some of the companies that are, I mean, okay, so there are companies that are supporting that will, I don't know, I'm not trying to think of how to explain this. They will allow for ladies to go to other states to get abortion if needed. But like somebody pointed out, it's like that's kind of actually kind of fucked up, because like, okay, you will support ladies getting an abortion, but what are you doing about ladies who are getting pregnant? Are you paying them extra for having babies? It's like, yo, man, that's...
I don't see the fucked up, because especially if you're in a state where you don't want to be pregnant anymore, but you literally can't, and you can't afford to leave.
But no, like, so for ladies who are like that do get pregnant, like there's no kind of like bonuses or any kind of pay for them when they take a. I mean, I guess when you are pregnant, you do get.
Stop. Hold on for a second. All right, ladies that do get pregnant and have a kid, they get paid time off.
But it's not like their full salary. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, you do get paid time leave. You get parental leave.
Yeah. So honestly, don't get me wrong. It's a kind of a semi slippery slope, but
yeah,
for like people to be out there and saying like, why don't they do this? Like, it's the last place aversion syndrome that I'm hearing from people. But what?
Well, when women take time off, they're paid by the state. The companies aren't the ones that. I mean, I guess taxes and this and that, but
it's two different things that we're talking about here. I completely agree, and I think this is where you're going, Blue, or what you're alluding to. More paid family leave that's more in line with a lot of other Western industrialized countries is something I totally support. I agree with it. I think we can improve things and make it easier on young families in this country. Absolutely. But that doesn't negate the reality of women and girls right now not having access to reproductive care.
I don't understand what the fuck we're arguing about. Basic human... This is basic human shit. The vast majority of the rest... We look clownish as fuck. Even, Blue, what you just said makes us look so fucking stupid to the rest of the world that are first world countries. Like, seriously. They're not debating on whether or not somebody that gets an abortion needs time off. They're not debating on whether or not, you know, a woman or a family needs time off to have a child. Like, that doesn't even fucking come up. This is how fucking stupid America is right now. We're arguing over shit that the vast majority of the world does not have an issue with, that have the same resources that we have. And it's fucking embarrassing. And I'm tired of hearing about it as somebody that fought for this fucking country. When we start talking about shit where if you're in goddamn Norway or Sweden or fucking wherever the fucking Europe, or even other countries to where, you know, if you're pregnant, you automatically get time off. Both the man and the woman, you get time off. All right. If you want to get an abortion, you don't have to fucking get a goddamn passport to another state in your country to get an abortion. These are so stupid of a fucking argument that it makes me angry that people are just like, oh, well, in these other places, do this. These aren't even an issue in other places. They're not issues in other places. And it should not be an issue here. These are basic human shit that we figured out 50 fucking years ago. 50 fucking years ago. And we're still talking about it in 2022.
Yep. In addition to all of that, and it's righteous outrage, you have former slave states talking about prosecuting girls and women who go to Minnesota, Illinois, New York, California, and have services in those states regarding their own reproductive health. Like, you go back home. Yeah, you go back home. Well, it's on your snooping in your medical record or whatever. It seems like you went to California not on vacation to go to Disneyland. You look like you had an abortion. Literally talking about completely invading your privacy, and which is nothing new here, and filing charges against that woman who had medical services. So we're in the fucking like hold on to your butts level of shit storm right now. This is about to get wild. And I know we talked about it years ago on here. Um, Literally, this could be the issue that completely tears this country the entire fuck apart.
Good. It's potential, but you alluded to this earlier, Prodigy. I think in the beginning, I think Cronus might have mentioned it as well. But this is probably just the beginning, because
Oh
there are
yeah.
already some of these justices on the Supreme Court already hinted about potentially board versus or Brown versus Board of Education, and the Loving versus was it the U.S. So basically, laws that would make the country segregated again, outlawing uh,
Same sex.
interracial marriages by the state. These things are already being talked about. Some of these have already hinted by some of the justices, like they're trying to take us Blue said time machine. We're looking at it here. They're trying to roll us back to the 50s
Hey,
and before.
Trump's fucking whole slogan was "Make America Great Again," and for white folks, America was great. Fucking like the 30s, 40s. Like he's just this motherfucker might have succeeded. Like holy shit! Especially if a lot of these things get rolled back. But like with like what Cronus was saying, like with Kay, like because there like one of the Supreme Justice was talking about how like contraceptive should be banned or some shit like that. Like, can you imagine you could fucking buy condoms because like that would prevent pregnancy. It's like what like it's it's the fucking wild wild west right now.
Honestly, there's a couple of things that were like, because obviously I'm in between homes right now. If they overturn, Brown versus Board of Education, we would have to leave because there is literally no way that I'm raising my child in a segregated, school system. Like I'm not fucking doing it. I'm not. Okay. Like this is shit that we figured out was better for our society back in the day. Even when we talk about Roe versus Wade, that whole decision made our economy better. And I don't understand why actually, they're stupid people, so I can't possibly understand them. But it's hard for me to understand that people, that they don't get that having women in the workforce is a giant plus to our, economy. And they're just like, oh, well, it's just like, it's just, abortions. But you got to think about that, man. Like, or women, because there's some stupid ass women out there too, as well as men. Like, if you get, a pregnancy that you don't want, just say that, whether the contraceptives didn't work or, somebody got raped or whatever scenario you want to think of. I don't really give a shit at this point in time. But if the woman had a choice to not have the pregnancy, they would be out of the workforce for months at a time. If it didn't outright fucking kill them, which this could happen to women of color, especially black women or women of African descent and indigenous women in America. We all know this. These are statistics, but nobody wants to fucking talk about it. And if you want to do this thing where you want to repeal Roe versus Wade, you're going to force women of color and, some white women to do that too. You're going to have people that are out of the workforce for longer periods of time or no longer in the workforce because they're fucking dead.
Yep. Look.
Well,
Go ahead.
wait, also, I mean, because one of the things that happened during the pandemic is that we had a shortage of formula.
Mm.
Could you imagine if like fuck it, I don't even want to think about it. Actually, yeah, think about it. Like thousands of fucking like babies and stuff, not because honestly, if breastfeeding is hard as fuck. Like it is not fucking. It's not like you throw the baby on the titty and all of a sudden there's milk coming out. Like it's a fucking process and it's hard as fuck. Oh, because like watching the sweetest like breastfeed, like that's some shit that doesn't come natural. Like you literally have to. It's trial and error, and then some like Olivia Munn, who she's on G4. She just recently had a baby and she talked about how she struggled with like breastfeeding. Breastfeeding's not fucking easy. And like recently we had a formula shortage. There would be like we had like in the beginning of the pandemic, there was a whole thing with toilet paper and paper towels and shit like that. With formula, that's life changing shit that's going on. Like there would be so many infants that would be passing away. But then what's crazy is that like we have there was the statistic came out earlier. There was like over 100,000 kids that are in foster care right now. These are kids whose parents couldn't.
It's more than 100,000. It's like closer to 400 and something thousand.
Oh yeah, okay, I was way the fuck off. But like, there's nobody out there adopting. Like all these people who are pro-choice and saving life and this and that. They're not out there adopting kids. Like these kids are just.
Hold on, real quick. Prodigy said we got to say it, and I will talk about adoption.
Yeah, so I was really quickly going to just say, fuck these liars that likes to post these cutesy fucking signs, these couples, usually white middle class couples or rich couples talking about, we will adopt your baby. You're not doing shit for foster kids, as Blue was alluding to. There's plenty of kids
blue eyes.
Yeah, there's plenty of kids up for adoption right now. It doesn't look like you're doing any type of adoption thing or going through the process. I know Cronus is going to talk about some of his story, and he's been very honest on this show. But don't fucking lie for social media, holding up some bullshit ass sign talking about abortion is awful and we'll adopt your fucking baby. No, the fuck you won't. You're not fooling anybody.
No, hold on. They may, Prodigy. So I will say some of them might. So this is where I'm going to fuck up your whole fucking perception, America, or the world about adoption in America. All right, so yeah, some of those white couples may adopt, kids of color. But I will guarantee you 90% of them will raise them like white kids. And that's a problem that nobody wants to fucking talk about. That's something that is a huge issue here in America. And I can say this 100% because I have adopted, I'm black, obviously, y'all know that because you can fucking see me. I adopted, my daughter is also black. She's blacker than me. All right.
Wait, for those of you listening via audio, Cronus is black.
Yes. I am, in fact, still black.
You have to black to this.
And you are still listening to Blacker Than Black Times Infinity. I'm just saying, when the adoption process that we went through, it was an option to go through the training for interracial adoption. It was an option, okay? An option. If you're going to foster to adopt, that's not even an option. You can just do whatever the fuck you want. And a lot of people in the adoption industry, they don't take into account that the kid that they are adopting, any of their cultural relevance at all. And I'm saying this with 100% certainty. They don't take into account, if they're, of Asian descent, African descent, fucking whatever descent that's other than their descent. And they raise them like they were, some white kid. And I'm not saying that it's bad to be white. What I'm saying is if you take a kid that has, that doesn't look like them and they're raised to be something that's not their ethnic background, that's incredibly damaging to them. And this is 100% proven. And, saying that, we'll just have all these kids just be in the foster system. First of all, there's a huge backup in the foster system.
Yep.
Huge backup in the foster system. And, second of all, like, if you're going to, foster to adopt a kid, are you willing to put in, I hate saying this, fucking words, because I hate this fucking phrase, but are you willing to put in the actual goddamn work to like make them an actual productive person in society? Or are you just going to indoctrinate that child into whatever culture that you have? Because if that's what you're going to do, you're not being fucking helpful. You need to like foster them to like understand that they're like whatever culture they came from, that has value, not just your fucking culture value that you grow up in. Teach them to like love themselves, not love whatever culture that you grew up in.
I completely agree, and I know that you and Kay were very, very serious about adoption, did your homework, had your struggles. You talked very honestly on this show about those ups and downs and the emotional yo-yoing that went on. I think a lot of people are doing that bullshit gaslighting. Not all, but a lot of them are doing this gaslighting with literal signs on social media who haven't done any fostering, who haven't filled out any of the applications, who haven't had any of those home visits that you talked about, Cronus, who haven't done any of that paperwork and all of that operational work that goes into actual adoption.
Yeah, it's a fucking lot. Like even beyond, I mean, foster to adopt for people that, you know, when they try to get into adoption, foster to adopt, they pay you to adopt from the state. So that's like one of the main differences. Like I did a private adoption. Well, it's a closed adopt. Well, it was an open adoption. Sorry. But the weird thing is for like us is that this is gonna nag me for a long time until we can rectify it, and I'll keep it 100% on this podcast. So when we adopted Riley, okay, we had her from the day that she was born. When she came out of like her birth mother's womb, she spent a few hours with her birth mother. And then the rest of the time was with us. And her birth mother was cool as fuck. You know, there was like a little bit of rough time, like after, you know, Riley was born, and she was like really worried about like us, about like not seeing Riley again. We're like, you know, don't worry, you know, we want you to be in her life. That's why we wanted to do an open adoption, okay? It's to have her interact with Riley again. And it hasn't happened since, you know, she was born. You know, we reached out to her like multiple times, and for whatever reason, she hasn't been responsive, and that makes me feel really fucking bad. To be honest, I'm like, what did we do? Because I literally told her, like when she told me, like she was worried about like not seeing her. I was like, hey, if you don't want to do this adoption, like, we don't have to. Like I literally told her, we don't do this. Like, I don't want to fuck up your life. If you don't want to do this, we don't do this. But then, you know, she eventually like agreed, and like, okay, like, you know, we wrote down a whole fucking contract and like when she can see her and stuff like that. And then the agency that we went through, like, fucking went into bankruptcy, and we still reached out to her like personally, like, hey, you know, here's pictures. When do you want to see her? Blah blah blah. She wasn't responsive, and now I'm thinking like, what could we have done to like help her and like have her in Riley's life? And that's gonna nag at me for a while.
I mean, to be honest, I'm just looking at it from an outsider standpoint. Like, it's probably hard for her to give up her child, because she actually has two other kids, right? The mother, Riley's mom.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably hard to see her go through this, but I'm just assuming, this is all assumption. She just probably wants to just, you know, not interfere with her life and just see her grow.
Yeah, I mean, I have to assume too, but I don't know, and I don't know if there was like something that, you know, we might have done.
Yeah.
But this also kind of like way off the point. Like, all these fucking idiots that want to talk about adoption, they are 100% not in my mindset of adoption. Most of them don't care about the birth mother. They don't care about their cultural, you know, whatever. They don't care about any of that shit. They just care that, you know, they just get a baby, you know, and that's for them. It's like, you know, fuck whatever the mother and the dad and all that shit, the birth mother and dad went through. Fuck all that shit. I got my baby. go do whatever you want with the rest of your life, or that doesn't even enter their mind at all. It's just like, it's such a disgusting system in America, like where it could be like a lot better, you know, especially when and for me, like open adoption is way more like truthful and like, I don't want to say pure, but it's like, it's better than like foster to adopt, because when you go to foster to adopt, I'll be honest again on the podcast. I've been in the foster system. It fucking sucks. I've been, you know, the victim of like abuse and as a child, and I got put in the foster system. And it wasn't for that long, but in that period of time, it wasn't great. And kids that are in that system, they get taken from their parents, but you have no idea like what their parents did. And maybe what they did actually wasn't that bad. Like it might have had nothing to do with like abusing their children. It could have just been like a minor drug offense, or, you know, being at the wrong place at the wrong time or something like that. But you don't fucking know. But people are so fucking eager to get on sucking the dick of the foster to adopt system, because they think that all the fucking parents that are in the foster kids family are just like terrible people. But you don't actually fucking know. And this is like the terrible part of, you know, America, just like assuming that people's, you know, our kids that are in these systems, that their parents are just like terrible people. Like that's not always the case.
Oh, real quick question. Are you guys, I know this is going to sound weird. Have you guys seen season 3 of Atlanta? Anybody on here?
No.
I have not. I've been meaning to start it.
I know what you're talking about.
No.
Like, are you talking about the scene at the swimming pool?
No, I was going to talk about, just really briefly, they had the most powerful episode I've ever seen about the foster system, and some of the things that Kronos just mentioned with foster parents not raising, especially black children, in a manner that's appropriate. It's episode 1. Even if you haven't watched the show, it stands alone, meaning you don't have to watch season 1 or 2 or whatever. It's the first episode of season 1. You can find it on Hulu. I can't remember the title. I'll find it in a second. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. It just resonated with everything you just mentioned, Kronos. So please, required watching. It'll only take 40 minutes. Watch that episode. I'll find it.
Season 2, right?
Season 3. So I'm going to say this, though. Be on the lookout for, let's say, I want to say September, for words like, or not words, phrases such as separate but equal start to pop up again.
No, I mean, it's happening now. I mean, like I talked about it, I think on a couple of podcasts ago. There's a senator, a sitting senator.
Is it John Conran?
I can't remember his name, but
Conran, because he's on there.
There's been a few senators, but there was like one that was like going after interracial marriage, that he wants to put it back to the states. And okay, let me rewind for a second. So when Roe versus Wade got overturned, I was going through some shit when it happened, so I couldn't like be on Facebook like a lot, so I was going through like some shit. But I made some, like a post about it, like briefly. And like I had another friend of mine who I previously respected, and then he said that, you know, Roe versus Wade does not make abortion illegal. I'm like, no, this is the simple-minded, stupid bullshit that I'm tired of seeing. Like, you saying that because it didn't make abortion illegal. I mean, on the federal level, yes, you're right, but on the actual state level, you're fucking 100% wrong, and you know this. Like, there are states that it's illegal right now. So don't sit there and say, oh, it didn't make it explicitly illegal. Stop playing fucking word games when it comes to, like, women's lives, people's lives, children's lives. Please fucking stop being so flippant about people's lives. This is what changed my mind on trans rights. When I started, when I was saying some shit about, like, trans kids and fucking sports and shit, that's got fucking nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me personally. All right. So if a little girl has a problem with some trans kid that's fucking beating them in track, their family can take up that fucking whole fight. Let them fucking do that shit. It's got fucking nothing to do with me. All right. But what I do know is that me saying some shit against trans rights, that can 100% affect a trans person and lead to death. Like, once I realize that, it's like, I'm on the wrong fucking side of history here. So, you know.
Good point. I'll say this too. I mean, obviously, there's parallels. You know, there's plenty of brand new laws to go along with voting rights that's taking 80 years backwards. But just laws regarding access to, again, healthcare, my industry, for trans people. So they're certainly legislating the fuck out of that as well. It's all semi-connected. I mean, it's authoritarianism, it's religious Taliban level bullshit. You know, it's almost to the level of you're gonna wear a burqa and we're gonna fucking stone you if you try to go to school, young lady. You know what I mean? It's like that.
You know, it's kind of crazy. I know Cronus is probably gonna stop me on this, but it's. I mean, a lot of people are protesting outside of like senators and their state representative and the Capitol and stuff like that to try to get things overturned. But I mean, the terrorists kind of won because they basically built a power to overturn this. But like the last time doing, I'm trying to think of one of the most impacting moment I can think of where, you know, people protesting something had a huge impact. Because a lot of the times, like, even with, it's so fucking dumb to think of this, like with gun control. I mean, it's been fucking 20 plus years that we've been trying to do gun control, but yet we still kid shootings at fucking schools and shit like that. But like, one of the biggest impact on our history was with the whole boycotting for buses for black folks. They boycotted riding a bus. They would walk to work. They would get fucking beat in the street just because they weren't taking a fucking bus. But literally, they went a whole year of just protesting, not taking a fucking bus, and it had a huge impact on the busing system. Like, they actually changed the law at that time, like, because I think it was because of what's happening with Rosa Parks, because she sat in the back of the bus she sat in the front of. She was sitting in the back of the bus, and a white woman got on. It's like, hey, I need to sit here and blah blah blah. Not blah blah blah, but it was a huge impacting moment. But it changed history, and like people started boycotting riding the bus.
She wasn't even the first one. It's hilarious, but
yeah, she was. Yeah, she definitely wasn't the fucking first one. But yeah, black folks started boycotting the bus. They started riding the bus. The bus started losing money. They realized like shit needs to fucking change, and like, you know, you can sit anywhere on the bus, and that's kind of where it needs to be with nowadays. Like, we can't just protest shit for a week or 2 weeks. Thoughts and prayers here and there. Like, we need to really fucking get a group together to really focus on changing shit in America. Like, it just can't be just, you know, the shit happens for a couple of weeks. The next week, Ukraine and Russia's at fucking war, and we talk about something else. Gas prices going up. Now we need to talk about this. Fucking Starbucks drink is going up 25 cents because of fucking inflation. Like, we need to really focus on changing shit. Like, we just can't do it for a little bit and just ride it out for a couple of while and then forget about it.
I don't disagree with you, man. The issue is, so my issue with like the current state of like protesting, especially for like this specific issue, like overturning Roe Vs Wade, is that I saw there was like a whole bunch of protests in California. Protests in California are not helpful. You can protest fucking every day of your life in California for Roe versus Wade rights, and you won't overturn shit. Not a single goddamn thing. Because the vast majority of people here in California are on the same fucking page. So you want to hop on the freeway, protest your shit? Like, you're just protesting people that probably agree with you. So what you need to do is... I just said that like I'm mansplaining shit to people. I feel like a dick.
What?
But, like, the pain and the pressure points needs to go on the local and state governments that are in the states that they are going to 100% make abortions illegal.
Former slave states.
I knew you were going to say it. I was going to say
yeah,
it.
the former slave states, yeah. Most of them, yes. But there's some in the north that are like where nobody lives. But, you know, they need to feel the pain there. When I say feel the pain, it's not like, hopping on the freeways. I mean, you could hop on the freeways if you want, but all you're going to do is make the populace mad. You're going to make them not agree with you more. What you need to do is go to the fucking state buildings, the capitals of the states, go to the government buildings, go to the fucking police stations if you want, go to if you want to harass the fucking lawmakers, you can do that too. I mean, don't fucking harm them, but make them feel that fucking pain. But like going to like these states where we already know that the vast majority of the population agrees with you, like that's not going to get your point across. But I can guarantee you, if you go to fucking Texas or Florida and you go to like DeSantis's house and you fucking protest his ass around his house every fucking day for like a year, this shit would probably fucking change, or at least it would get you national attention, and then it'll put some pressure there. But like, just stop doing it in states that are already liberal. Like we get it here. We're on the same page. That's not where we need the help. Women need your help in other states where we know their lives are in danger. It is not in California. It's not in fucking Oregon. It's not in goddamn Washington. It's not there. It's in fucking Texas, Alabama, former slaveholding states. That's where we need the pressure to be felt. But at the same time, it's like, is that what the population really wants? And this is where it gets to like the tearing of like the nation. And this is where like the Civil War shit comes up. Where it's just like, how much, like, would you want somebody from Texas to come over to California and push their, pro-life agenda? That's where the slippery slope comes in.
And I get you. I think in general, the answer is you should support people's freedom to protest, in a peaceful manner and all of that, and try to get legislation passed or whatever that they feel is right.
We've seen a lot of peaceful protests just go fucking shit sideways.
You're absolutely right, Blue. Most of them don't do shit. But at the same time, I think when you're talking about removing rights from damn near 50% of the population, that's a whole nother ball game when it comes to, quote unquote states' rights. And states' rights was an excuse used in the 1850s and 60s, before and during the literal Civil War. And the states' rights was the slogan of, I want this Negro in my yard, picking this cotton. And it's not all right with me. I think it's a convenient excuse. Yes, states certainly need some level of autonomy, but you're still supposed to be part of the union. You know what I mean? You're still supposed to be part of fucking America and everything. But here's the thing. This is in a lot of ways crying over spilled milk. This has happened. It's occurred. It's just fresh, and we're seeing the aftermath right now.
So I'm looking at talking about your freshness. It looks like there's some states that are on the fence as far as they are talking about some rules and regulations that are going to be soon. Like they're trying to pass stuff real soon, but there are other states that could not wait. There's 7 states.
Fucking day one,
they banned it. Day one.
It's written fucking law.
This one I don't understand. It says ban blocked. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Banned. So they have ban blocked versus banned. So I'm not sure what that means, but there's 7 states have already banned it. 7.
But here's my other thing too, really quickly. This was not just what happened last Friday. All of a sudden, it came out of fucking nowhere, and we're all shocked, and everybody's reacting. No, for decades and decades, there had been, especially in former slave states, and yes, I'm picking on them purposely. There had been an erosion of the rights of Roe versus Wade. Well, we're going to reduce it to this many weeks. Well, you don't need this many clinics in our state. Well, you didn't dot this T on your application for a new clinic to open up. Well. The erosion had happened for decades.
Yeah, plus we got the shit that happened in Texas. Like like fuck it. I think it was like this year where they had talked about how like, oh, if it's 13 weeks, or not even 13 weeks, I think it was like was it? It was like
They have a
12 weeks
heartbeat.
after.
Yeah, it's like
No. It was
6 weeks. 6 weeks.
That's what it was. 6 weeks after conception, like yeah, like you can't. Like the abortion is illegal. Like you can't have a fucking abortion. It's like
I
it
think they
literally take
call
a
it
woman like 6 weeks to find out that she's late on her fucking period.
Yeah. Let me say this real quickly too. Just to be really fucking clear, this is where I stand on this shit. Women, I'm not telling you what the fuck to do. You do what the fuck you want to with your body and all of that other stuff. But I would recommend not fucking anybody who supports this. Like literally give zero pussy to somebody who wants to, some man who wants to repress reproductive rights for your entire fucking sex. Like, so they deserve no ass, no titty beat, no booty pics, no late night are you up texts, none of it. Not even strip club access. Restrict these motherfuckers when it comes to all things sexual. Mm-hmm. They can't even buy. They shouldn't even be allowed to buy interspecies reviewers on Blu-ray.
I'm looking at this tracking.
Their Pornhub should be blocked.
It's actually fairly informative. It's not fully like, for instance, they list if the state is GOP controlled, mm-hmm. which is basically a Republican state, but they list the current limit at what you can get an abortion. So, for instance, in Florida, they have a 24-week limit. They're trying to change it to 15 weeks, but this includes no rape or incest. This includes no rape or incest exception.
Yeah, but it gets to like anytime there's
Florida, Georgia has a 22-week one now. They want to change it to 6 weeks, which includes a rape and incest exception, but only if a police report is filed. Idaho.
Hold on. Let's stop for a second.
I'm only picking 3. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom for y'all who weren't watching. But when it comes to like the no rape and incest exception, it's like, what the holy fuck are we talking about right now? Like, are you serious? Like, you want to force somebody to birth a child out of them by the person they were raped by? Like, once we get to that point in the conversation, it's like, you are not a rational person to me anymore. Like, not even a fucking little bit. You're fucking crazy. Are you telling me, like, if you had a daughter and somebody raped your daughter and you're just like, okay, yeah, just like let him have a kid and raise that kid. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's nowhere near rational or reasonable, like in the slightest. And, having the whole like 6-week thing is like, first, most women would not know that's like a week at best past their a week or 2 at best past their normal period. It's a basic lack of knowledge on a woman's like bodily function. It's like, if you don't know a woman's bodily function, like, why the fuck would you be like voting on like their rights? Like, I feel like there should be a fucking test. There should, but in general, there should be a test for like any. When I remember, like 2 years ago, I think it was when me and Papa Bear we first started doing like our Balance Exchange podcast, and he said that there should be a test to be in Congress, and I was like, oh, that's a lot historically because of if you're black, doing the whole like voting test thing and like blah 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 blah. Like, historically, that's, like, bad. But now I'm just like, yeah, I think you do. Like, if you don't know, like, basic shit and you're, like, literally writing laws on said basic shit, like, you need to be able to pass a test. Like, you got to pass a test on, like, basic knowledge. And these people don't even know that there's ways that women can get pregnant and, like, literally not have a baby and the baby's not expelled and they could fucking die. Or that, then there's a good chance they don't know that they're going to be, pregnant before their next period, because women's periods, they vary. It's the same thing of like trying to rely on a woman to like tell me how a man can basically detect prostate cancer. You know, like how can you detect that? You gonna tell me like, oh, when I have to get up and pee all the time, or when my nuts aren't as fucking voluminous, or you know, like they wouldn't fucking know.
Are those some of the signs? Should I be worried?
I mean, no, because they stole your kids already.
I probably I pee like 4 times on this podcast.
So Prodigy, I got clarification for you. So when I asked, when I said I didn't understand the band blocked differentiation. So this explains it. So the ban is blocked. That's what I guess. So for instance, in Louisiana at this time, a judge has temporarily blocked their trigger law that would have banned the abortion in the state. And currently, they have a 22-week ban, which currently applies, but they want to do a 15-week ban, and it's unclear whether the 15-week is in effect. The law that they want to induce includes no rape or incest exception. What's weird is in Mississippi, or I'm sorry, not Mississippi, in Kentucky, it's illegal. So at the time of conception, it is banned.
Isn't it weirdly ironic that the same state of Florida that gave us Uncle Luke and Pop That Coochie is literally trying to prevent like abortion? Like you shouldn't have any power to prevent, reproductive health and whatnot if you make classic songs like Pop That Coochie.
So with them, they're still working on their law. I guess they're trying to get a law to get pushed through, but it's looking like it's an illegal battle for now. But for now, they're at 24 weeks, but they want to reduce it to 15. A bunch of these states want to reduce to 15. There's other states currently, like Kentucky, where the moment of conception it is now illegal. Missouri is another one. Some of them have exception for rape or incest. Yeah. Some of them do not. Missouri does not.
Wait. So what's fucking crazy? I'm pretty sure we all been on this fucking boat. Like we've all dated a girl, and there's literally been a month that she missed her period, and you're just fucking sitting there sweating bullets, and then like next month she get her period. So that's a good 8 weeks, maybe 9, 10 that would go by. Like there's no, by a woman being late isn't a scientific proof that she's fucking pregnant. Like there's women who will go all the way up to fucking almost full fucking term, and she will still have her menstrual cycle before she realized that she's fucking pregnant. Like a menstrual cycle does not represent that a woman's pregnant. Like you literally have to go to your OBGYN. You have to, you don't pee on a stick, but you pee in a fucking cup, and they take that shit back and they analyze it. There's no, you pee on a fucking bullfrog, and if a frog dies, then you're fucking pregnant type shit. Like,
what if she shits on a carpet though? If she shits on a carpet,
no. There's no Amber Rose. What's her name? Amber Heard. Sorry, I got my Ambers all mixed up. But there's no like there's no scientific proof that shows that a woman would know that she's pregnant by just being late.
You mean conception? Yeah, but they push these laws, and what's fucked up is that these states get made fun of for being cousin fuckers and whatnot. But some of these states, like Missouri, they do not have an exception for rape or incest. There's another. Kentucky's another one.
You don't have to go through all of them, man. You really.
I'm not going through all of them. Just giving through a couple of examples. I just gave two.
More than a couple.
Well, no, that some of them that don't have this inception. I was just talking. I went back to the one because we didn't know about the ban. What did I say? Ban block. That didn't make sense. So I went back to that one.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, anytime when you have to put it in, when you have no exception for something that's already illegal, it's just like, is rape not illegal where like your state is? Is incest not illegal like where you are? And it's one of those things to where, people are just they have like their priorities mixed up. It's just like, man, like, could you imagine having somebody literally traumatize you and then having to raise that child? Like, why is this even in the conversation in America? in 2022.
Well, it also, I'm just going to say this, and Blue kind of alluded to it as well. There's a lack of understanding of fundamental biology and science as well. And literally, when you start talking about, well, it's been 4 weeks, and that means that I have a baby inside me. No, you really fucking don't. You know what I mean? Like, you could be late, you could be a whole bunch of other things, but you got, like Kronos mentioned, stress. You got a clump of cells. You could get a pregnancy test. I get it, but come on now, like there just needs to be better biology classes than sex ed throughout the country.
And also, I think that like legally, this ruling opens up like men, rightfully so, to like a lot of like legal litigation of like if you are literally going to consider, conception at, I guess, I don't even know how to fucking put it.
Nut,
the actual medical term,
right?
like like nutting into a woman. It's like, okay, well then, so I guess like when is the point we need to financially provide for this child? And if you're saying that it's a child from nut to, then you are financially responsible for a clump of cells 9 months before they're born. And that's a lot.
Appointments and this and that.
Well, I mean, for me, as soon as you hear the clown noise, it's over.
Yeah.
I mean, just make your payment.
Not for you. The clown noise means just you're a clown. No
already.
baby, but you're still a clown.
Damn.
Honestly, I am putting like because of this whole thing happening, I'm putting like a vasectomy way higher on my priority list. Even though, in California we'll probably be safe, but I was waiting for like vasogel to like become a thing. It's just like one shot of your fucking vas deferens, you're good. But that's stalled out, so I might just this is going to be a priority for me.
I mean, you guys fly to the UK because I think it's legal there or some shit. Or
I mean, 100% spend like $10,000 to get an abort. That's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, you can always do anal, like just nothing but anal. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean that'll help. I mean,
I'll lead to that.
All I know is that cuckolding will have lower numbers now, so you probably won't see a whole lot of cuckolding interracial videos anytime soon.
No, I mean you will.
Shit. What's this going to do to the cream pie vids?
Yeah, I'm saying they're gonna go down, bro.
They're not noises.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of kings out there like, hey,
there you go,
baby.
That's
not me in that video.
That's the name of the episode now. Clown noises. I don't even remember what the fuck we talked about earlier. We said
it was rested metal. This is gonna be clown horn noises is what it would be.
There you go.
So clown horn noises rest in metal.
That's too long, but I could do clown horn noises.
Oh, okay, sure.
Guys, we could literally go forever on this one. We gotta wrap it. We gotta wrap it.
We didn't even touch on like some of the cool shit.
Well, I mean, the Roe versus Wade thing, like, it gets me obviously like a little passionate about that shit.
Yeah, and I didn't want us to skip it this week either. This is super fresh, super new. I knew a lot of you had all of this touches pretty much all of us in one way, shape, or form. So
it's interesting. There is comedians they joke about shit a lot, and they take like lighthearted shit on hard topics. And there was one comedian that had talked about how he had posted about how he supported Roe versus Wade and blah blah blah. And I guess somebody commented saying like, oh, what if Jesus was aborted? And he's like, oh, wow, they really took it very, very low. Let me tell you what this comedian's response was. He's like, oh, well, what if Osama bin Laden was aborted? Radio fucking silent.
Hold on. Let me just fucking mic drop for you right now, right? The fucking religion that is so pro fucking life is predicated on a woman that didn't have sex that became pregnant by God. What are you talking about?
I just want to know what sound did God's nut make. That's what I want to know.
Definitely a clown noise. The clown horn noise was definitely it.
Yeah.
You can't be
it's
like,
gotta be
just don't have sex. Just use cartridge. But did Mary? I'm just saying.
Y'all, hold on. Y'all are wrong for this because y'all all know. Y'all all know it was the announcer from Mortal Kombat that was like, finish her.
It wasn't.
God damn, y'all. All right. Old ninja. What you got populating this week? Keep it short, goddamn it. We going long.
What's your last on Monday?
So 4th of July is this weekend, and we're still trying to work out plans. I'm trying to see some fireworks, but not set the state on fucking fire. So we're working on looking at some city-sponsored fireworks. Going to my little cousin's birthday on Saturday, even though I know all the adults are just making an excuse to get super fucked up before 5 o'clock, but that's fine. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and I'm back on the Destiny grind, and I've been posting some stuff to our Twitch page, but it's mostly been Lego Star Wars because I'm almost 100% of that game. But
dude, hit me up for that Destiny 2. I want to get back on there for whatever reason.
You have 40 minutes.
Goddamn.
He's like,
all right,
but not
Blue. What you got? Blue.
You say Blue?
Yeah, Blue. What you got?
Shit. What's going on? Halo. One of my friends' birthdays is this Friday, so we're going out for a couple of drinks, which it'd be kind of good to kind of get out of the house with the whole Rona and stuff like that. So we got a babysitter for Sebi, Sebastian. Then we have another friend's birthday on Saturday up in SF, which is kind of cool. It's in it's always interesting when there's like a huge metropolitan city when they have like a random fucking park. No, I fucking hate that train. But no, it's always interesting when it's a huge fucking city and they have a random park in the middle of it. But yeah, so we're going to SF to Golden Gate Park for a birthday party, which is kind of cool. Nice. And then Monday is 4th of July. Mm-hmm. I'm having like a weird fucking deja vu about something. This is crazy. Anyways, watch Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange mom. I have my opinions about it. It's not the. I mean, Kron said this before. It's not the greatest Marvel movie, but it's not the worst. But it's okay. And it's on Disney Plus right now.
When you said Doctor Strange mom, I was like, "Who's his mom?"
What?
Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, it took me a second.
Yeah, but so I jump real quick because I still understand why people buy fucking fireworks and set that shit off like weeks, months in fucking advance because it's low fucking point. Just do that shit fucking 4th of July day, get it all out of the way, and then everybody get to have fun. But like having that shit at random times it's kind of fucked up.
Well, but they were doing it when the Warriors won. So they went off that weekend. So.
Warrior, yeah, I understand that, but like, yeah, it's fucking annoying at this point because we got dogs, we have a kid, and like dogs start barking. The kid wakes up, start crying, and it's just ruins every fucking night. But there's something I wanted to talk about.
Westworld.
I need to catch up with Westworld because I only saw season 1 of Westworld, and I think they're like on season 4, so I need to.
Yeah,
because I didn't have HBO. I didn't have HBO back before HBO Max came out, so I need to catch up on that. But we're getting a new season of Trigun, which we'll probably talk about eventually in the future. But yeah, just chilling, just having fun. Watch my little guy. He's up to a couple of words now, which is kind of cool. Like he can say "all done." He says his daycare taker's name, which is kind of random, and he gives hugs. So if you ask him for a hug, he'll come and give you a hug. Well, at least for us, he'll give us a hug. But it's kind of cute for him to do that. But it's just being dad is cool. But that's about it for me.
That's fucking awesome. I didn't get a chance to tell you Happy Father's Day. Belated, all of that.
Yeah, Happy Father's Day to 2 of you.
Like to all you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Old Ninja doesn't have any kids that we know about.
That we know of.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't go to the South because
yeah,
you just might end up.
He just said yeah. Cronus, what you got?
Yeah, I'm just honestly, I'm glad to be back on the podcast. Sorry that the Rona took me out. I mean, I could have done it, but you know, I got a family that I had to take care of, and that was a lot. My past week was a lot. All right, so, but I'm doing better now. But we'll see next week if I have to like leave here again and stay in a hotel. I'm not even thinking about it. Because that'd be a lot. Anyway, I'm glad to be back with you guys. SDCC is coming up. I think that Prodigy, you're gonna have me and you have tickets, but
we'll talk offline. Some things went down, but one way or another, you're definitely gonna go. So
I can only go for certain days. So
okay,
we will see.
I guess
You
both
can
Black,
go
you just
now. Like what the
put
fuck?
out your
we'll
badge.
We'll talk about it
touch
offline.
it.
All right. Anyway, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it'd be cool to go, but I can't take time off now because I had to take 2 weeks off, like for just sick time. You know, I have unlimited sick time, but at the same time, like I work on Sundays and I missed a few Sundays, and I hate doing that shit. I don't want to drag this out. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Dude, also, jump real quick. The boys have been fucking insane this season. Like, god damn.
I need to catch up.
Damn.
Yeah,
I heard about
I'm gonna
try to catch up
Orgasm.
Eurogasm.
Yeah.
Ooh,
gonna try to catch up on
I was not prepared for that.
I'm gonna try to catch up on the boys. I haven't watched any of this season yet, and then Justice. So I'll try to catch up this weekend.
Diabolical. You gotta watch that shit too.
Real quick for me, way fucking late, but I'm liking being Hideo Kojima and Norman Reedus's mailman, I guess.
It's Amazon in the future.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pissing and getting advertisements for AMC Norman Reedus's ride. You know, like literally, there's like he'll wink at the fucking camera, and I'm like, what kind of game is this? This is wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
I'm early on in the game. I'm enjoying the fuck out of it. I don't know what took me so long. I'm playing the director's cut, but and we'll talk about it next week. But I'm quite impressed with the lineup for PlayStation Plus's new Neapolitan ice cream flavored lineup. You know what I mean? With all the different tiers that they got. You know,
Omega, some shit.
Yeah. We'll go into it next week. But there's a lot of good games on there. I think it's worth the money and dope shit. Take us out, old ninja. Goddammit.
First off, the blood and shit bombs do the most damage in Death Stranding.
Good to know.
You just experienced Black and the Black Times Infinity, the dankest podcast on the internet. Check us out anywhere and everywhere with Bees and BTI. It's BTANBTI. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, probably anywhere that you listen to MP3s, you'll find us on there. How about that?
Even on Pornhub.
You check out our official website, benheadproductions.com/BTI. Some people don't know, but we have a Twitch. We're on Twitch as well, but we're also everywhere else. No, I've gotten this question a couple of times. I think there's one very old podcast on our channel, maybe, but it's mostly gaming. So
okay. Real quick, as we're going out, shout out to Something Cast. They let me on there to talk about some old school.
They let you back?
Yeah, they let me back, man.
Shit.
Those guys are done with that shit. But shout out to Podcast Rob and all of them for letting me on there. The episode will be out, I think, this coming week, where we talk about some gaming remakes and our best of list. It was fucking fun. So shout out to those guys.
We did a little bit some on this podcast, but yeah, that's cool.
Good shit. Peace.
Peace.